the strikes. We got a series now, all even at one apiece.
It's going to be a fight. All these games are as expected.
Stanton will watch it fly way out of here.
And these guys expect to win. It's a really strong mindset from these guys. They've shown it time and time again.
This ALDS rolls on. We welcome you from scenic San Diego. Another beautiful night for baseball. Another beautiful night to do a lot of things here in this city. Petco Park is the home to the American League Division Series. It'll also be home to the ALCS. And these guys are trying to fight their way there. Charlie Morton gets the ball for the Tampa Bay Rays. A lot of postseason pedigree. And he'll match up against Masahiro Tanaka. The Yanks in their pinstripes tonight. They are the home team. Tanaka and Morton, an excellent Game 3 starting pitching matchup. This 2020 American League Division Series on TBS is presented by Utz Snacks. Crystal clear night. The Rays and the Yankees, they will flip-flop home and visitor tonight. They'll stay in the same dugouts, but we're starting about an hour earlier, so we'll see about the shadows and if that affects the hitters to start Game 3 here tonight. Hi, everybody. We welcome you. Great to have you with us. Brian Anderson along with Ron Darling. We'll hear from Lauren Shahade in just a moment. Well, this series now becomes best 2 out of 3. Yankees won the opener, and then Tampa Bay answered last night, Ron, with a big victory. They needed that one to get themselves back in this series, and now we're really going to see about the depth of the starting rotation and the pitching staff of the Rays.
You know, Brian, they had the 2 young guns going on the first 2 nights, Blake Snell, and last night an outstanding job by Tyler Glasnow. But now they have the old veteran in there in Charlie Morton, who's had a great career as a Tampa Bay Ray, 3rd in a Cy Young last year. But when I think of Charlie, I think of a guy who's done unbelievable work in the postseason, especially with the Astros in 2017. He was great that entire postseason. He's got a great career postseason mark. And remember, he was on the mound the last 4 innings in Dodger Stadium and got the last out. They got the Astros the championship in 2017.
Charlie Morton now in his 2nd year as a member of the Tampa Bay Rays. He is 36 years of age. He has talked about retirement at some point, but he's back around and another postseason start. This will be his 1st this year. The headliner for the New York Yankees offensively is Giancarlo Stanton. Yankees are bashing away. They've hit 6 home runs in this series already, and Stanton has hit homers in 4 consecutive games, and he's got 5, including 2 last night.
Everything he's doing is historic. Listen, there's a lot of guys, Brian, that hit home runs. There's a lot of guys that hit long home runs, but there's only one unicorn, and that's Giancarlo Stanton. What he did last night with a laser to right field and then a home run 458 feet to left center off Glasnow was stuff that just took your breath away, whether you're a player, an announcer, or someone watching on TV.
It had the sound, it had the flight, and he is off to an historic start in these playoffs. Just one of 3 players in Major League Baseball history to homer in 4 straight games. No Yankee has ever homered in 5 consecutive games in the playoffs. Now, on the pitching side, certainly there is a buzz in New York about what happened last night. Aaron Boone deciding to go with the opener last night. It did not work for them. But as we bring in Lauren Shahade, Aaron Boone and the Yankees, Lauren, feel like they are well positioned now with their bullpen and their starters for the final potential 3 games of this series.
Yeah, B.A. Jay Happ said he was surprised to get in the 2nd inning of yesterday's game. I spoke with Kevin Cash. He said it was unexpected, but you talk to any of these Yankees, they feel like this series is unprecedented, right? A 5-game postseason series, not a single day off. It's never happened before, so any lack of depth in the bullpen or the rotation will be exposed, and you think this is extreme, just wait till the 7-game set in the championship series, right? Spoke with Aaron Boone not too long ago. He feels pretty darn good about having Masahiro Tanaka on the mound, about a rested bullpen. He told me it will be Montgomery tomorrow with Davey Garcia in the mix, and of course, Garrett Cole is always looming. So the scene is set for Game 3 of the ALDS between the Rays and the Yankees from beautiful Petco Park in San Diego, California. We'll have your lineups and your first pitch right after this. Postseason baseball on TBS is next.
The MLB postseason rolls on. Oh, you hear that, Ronnie? With a salute to a guitar hero, the late Eddie Van Halen. It has been an eruption of home runs in this series. There have been 12. thus far, and they keep racking them up in the first 2 games.
Home runs equal W's, Brian. The team that out-homers their opponent are 17-0 in the postseason. Think about this so far. There have been 10 home runs from the 9th hole, only 4 home runs from the cleanup spot. But you see the Yankees and the Rays, most of their runs at this postseason via the home run.
Incredible that the Rays, 81% of their runs coming from the long ball. Well, you got a couple of pitchers that hope to keep the ball in the ballpark tonight. Masahiro Tanaka on the mound, getting his final preparations in. Austin Meadows will get the start in right field, just his second start in right field this year, and his first of the postseason. You got Brandon Lau, Randy Arozarena, Ji-Man Choi. Yoshitomo Tsutsugo gets the start as a designated hitter here tonight. Joey Wendell, and the bottom 3 is Willie Adames, Kevin Kiermaier, and Michael Perez. And you see 7 left-handed batters in there against Tanaka, which is an unusual setup with his splits this year. Tanaka, Ronnie, 31 years of age, coming to the end of a contract with the Yankees. He's been excellent in his career.
If you see the bottom, postseason career ERA 2.70. It was 1.75 until his last start in Cleveland, where he gave up 6 runs. 78 and 46 over his brilliant career, over 173 starts with the Yankees. Defensively, you start with the catcher behind the plate, and it's going to be Kyle Higashioka in there. Gary Sanchez on the bench. Around the infield, you got the gold with LeMahieu, Torres, Urshela, and Voit. And in the outfield, Brett Gardner in there this evening in left field. He's got a gold glove too, Hicks and Judge.
And you see those long shadows creeping across the field. That's a crew chief right there, Mark Carlson. He'll call the balls and strikes. Todd Tishner is the first base umpire in his 5th division series. Marvin Hudson out at second base with Mike Easterbrook at third. And then the 2 outfield umpires, David Rackley and C.B. Buckner, who had the plate last night and was in the crosshairs of many last night.
I love that Mark Carlson, the crew chief, is behind the plate. They do that on purpose. Crew chief with the most experience gets game 3. Game 3 is the pivotal game.
Higashioka catching Tanaka for just the 2nd time this season. The only other occasion he caught Tanaka was an excellent outing by Tanaka against these Tampa Bay Rays. That was September 1st. Austin Meadows digs in. Tampa Bay, the road team, they'll bat first as we flip the home and road setup here in game 3 in this neutral site. And Tanaka's first offering is in there for a strike, and away we go in game 3. Starting this game an hour earlier than we did the last 2 nights. By the way, the winner of game 3, they go on to win it 72% of the time in a 5-game series. So that's the number that sits on the board for both of these teams. But for Tampa Bay, the fact that they won last night and even this series at 1 game apiece after Aaron Boone rolled out the opener in last night's game. We did ask Aaron, were there any surprises for tonight we should know about, and he wasn't willing to share.
We were a little day late and $1 foolish.
Well, as Lauren mentioned, Aaron Boone does feel strongly about what he has lined up, moving Tanaka to this 3 spot in the rotation. Got all his best relievers lined up. Potentially Garrett Cole could come back in a game 5 scenario as well. Here's a 2-1 to Meadows. 2 balls, 2 strikes on the leadoff man for the Rays.
That's what you're going to see with Tanaka. Anytime you get in a fastball count, left-handed or right-handed hitter, you're either going to see the split finger or the slider. He never wants to throw the fastball when he's behind in the count.
This year dominated left-handed hitters, but overall in his career the splits are about even. He had the reverse splits this season. Tampa Bay kind of bucking that trend about this year because it was a 10-start season for Tanaka, and they're rolling in there with 7 left-handed hitters. Why do you think that is, Ronnie?
Well, I think there's a lot more analytics on what left-handers have done against Tanaka. Also, the slug was a little better from left-handed hitters than right-handed hitters.
Doesn't pack that big power fastball that we've seen. He gets a strikeout to start the game. Meadows chases, and that's how the night begins for Tanaka. A strikeout to his first batter faced.
Again, in a fastball count, he'll counter, and he went with the slider there. They wanted it outside, ended up down and in, and Meadows swinging over the top of it. Really wraps that ball behind him as he releases that breaking pitch.
Tanaka facing Brandon Lau. This is a guy the Rays hope to get jump started here in this postseason. He has been their best hitter all year, was an all-star last year, but you see only 2 hits thus far in 4 games and no damage done either. No homers, no RBIs. The Yankees had Lau's number this year, so the book is a good one for the Yankees on this slugger. Just 3 for 31 during the season. Did have a couple of home runs and 4 runs batted in, but he hit .097 against Yankees pitching this year. Ball and a strike. 1-2 the count. Now we welcome you, all of those who are coming across from TNT to TBS, as the Oakland Athletics extend that series on the Houston Astros. There'll be a game 4 in Los Angeles. We are just underway, and Tanaka with back-to-back strikeouts to start his day. Strikes out Austin Meadows to start the game, and now Brandon Lau is gone.
No one can execute a game plan better than Tanaka. With precision, he knows he wants to get Lau up in the strike zone. He threw 3 pitches up there and gets the strikeout. 4-seamer from Tanaka.
Well, you see that ball, Ronnie, the super slow-mo look, and just strobing across as the sun is setting, and the long shadows are going to be a factor here for the first half hour, 45 minutes.
Well, there's sun behind Tanaka. He's in the shade. The ball will pass through some light and then into shade again to the hitter. Doesn't get more difficult than that.
These games have been starting at 5 o'clock local time, when it's been covered in shadow, but not here tonight. Randy Arozarena has been a big story for the Rays. Again in that number 3 spot in the batting order. Able to check his swing there. Arozarena in 4 games, 9 hits. He's hit a couple of homers, including home runs in each of the first 2 games of this division series. He's had first inning home runs in the first 2 games of this ALDS. A wave and a miss. 1-2 the count. Tanaka throwing strikes, getting ahead, and he's got a chance to strike out the side here in the first inning. The hesitation, the 1-2 on the ground. LeMahieu makes a great play, throw to first, and not in time. Arozarena legs it out. Heck of a play by DJ LeMahieu, but the speedy Arozarena has another hit in his first inning.
What a play by LeMahieu up the middle, but what happened is, extending himself, he couldn't get into position to get anything behind the throw. So the great speed of Arozarena got himself another hit.
Excellent call. Todd Tishner, first base umpire. Bang, bang it was. DJ LeMahieu, the tallest regular second baseman in Major League Baseball history at 6'4". Took him a little while to get unraveled. And Arozarena flying down the line is aboard. Extends the inning for Ji-Man Choi. Shift is on for Choi. Yankees expect him to pull on the ground. And Choi on the first pitch hammers one into right field. That's well hit, and it is going to be caught by Judge. How about that? A snow cone staring back into the sun. You want to talk about a great play. Wow. Aaron Judge might not see one better than that tonight. Fighting the sun, the line drive, the snow cone to end the inning. Play of the game will occur. We might have just seen one in the first inning.
You need these kind of plays in the postseason. Think about the shadows, that coming out of the dark into the light. He had to fight that, and very few right fielders catch that ball. He needed all 6'8" of him to catch that
You
one.
can see the sun off his sunglasses as he's staring right into it. Heck of a play to get us started. Scoreless inning for the Rays in the first. Now the Yankees are coming up to face Charlie Morton, DJ LeMahieu, Aaron Judge. Aaron Hicks will be the first three up against Charlie Morton. His second year as a Tampa Bay Ray, living in the area, decided to extend his career after he contemplated retirement after his days with the Houston Astros. Now 36 years of age, been an All-Star twice, and made the All-Star team as a Ray in his first year last year, and almost won a Cy Young Award. He finished third in that category a season ago.
Behind his ex-teammates Verlander and Cole.
DJ LeMahieu back in that leadoff spot. He's had a good run in this postseason, hitting an even 300 with 3 runs batted in. Drove in 1 last night. And a weak ground ball out to second base. Brandon Lau puts him away. Let's give you the rest of that Yankee lineup. So you met LeMahieu, then Judge, then Hicks. It's a very familiar Yankee lineup with Voit, Stanton, and Urshela. Gleyber Torres hits in the 7th spot. And then the changes, Ron. Brett Gardner and Kyle Higashioka get the starts for Aaron Boone tonight.
Gardner has some home runs against Morton, so he's in that lineup. Give them some added speed.
And Higashioka has earned more playing time. Hit a home run here in game 1. Gary Sanchez sits for game 3 to start. Morton zips a 96-mile-an-hour fastball in there on Judge for strike 1. Judge coming off that terrific defensive play to end the first inning. Judge has always had his struggles with Charlie Morton. He's not alone, but they're pretty significant for Aaron Judge.
Only 1 hit in 16 attempts, but that hit is a home run.
Judge has popped a couple of home runs in this postseason. Homered off Shane Bieber game 1 of the wild card series, and then he homered game 1 here off Snell. Weakly hit ground ball to Adames. 2 ground ball outs for Charlie Morton. How about you set up the rest of the Rays defensively there, Ronnie?
Well, Michael Perez is going to catch Charlie Morton for the 3rd time this year. Their ERA is 1.5, 1.69 to be exact. You see the infield, same infield all 3 games now. Wendell, Adames, Lau, and Choi. And in the outfield, the only difference is Austin Meadows, who hasn't played right field since September 1st. And this is only his 4th time out there.
He's been out with an oblique injury. 4 games played, only his 2nd start in right field this year. And as you saw with Judge's play, and you can see by that image, he is staring right into that setting sun. That could be an adventure out there.
Right.
Strike 1 to Aaron Hicks.
Both these veterans seem pretty undaunted, coming out firing strikes right away.
Take advantage of the twilight and the shadows. These pitchers know pitcher has the advantage in a setting like this. 0-1 pitch fouled away.
I always used to think pitching with the shadows was like playing golf downwind. Just feel a little better about yourself.
Nice. I like that. Yeah, you get into the twilight part of the night. There's been some haze here the first couple of nights, and as I mentioned, starting an hour later, so the shadows fully engulfing the playing surface, all the buildings around, and the development that has happened around Petco Park. Just a treat to be here, watching baseball in person, first of all, in this pandemic, but also to be in this setting at Petco Park in San Diego. Hosted the All-Star game in 2016. This beautiful place opened in 2004, and they have been great hosts. Not only for the ALDS, it'll be the home of the American League Championship Series as well. We'll have it right here on TBS. Popped him up in the infield. And a benign first inning for both starting pitchers. 10-pitch first inning for Charlie Morton. Retires the side in order. Off and running in game 3. Rays coming to bat. No score. We are underway as we head to the 2nd inning, game 3. Well, we've never done October like this before, and that means anything can happen. MLB has you covered on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. 2nd inning, pitchers off to very good starts. Tanaka 15 pitches, 10 of those were strikes. He had a couple of Ks to start the game as he faces Yoshi Tsutsugo getting the start as the designated hitter. First time the DH has not hit leadoff for the Rays. And one of the 7 lefties in the starting lineup for Tampa Bay against Tanaka. 0-2 the count.
Brian, he sees 4.5 pitches per plate appearance. That's the most in the major leagues.
A couple of Nippon Professional Baseball League legends going at it here in Japan. Tanaka played for Rakuten in the Pacific League. Tsutsugo was a star home run hitter for Yokohama in the Central League, so they were in opposite leagues. Didn't really run across each other much. Tanaka's last year in Japan was one of the greatest baseball seasons ever published. That was 2013 when he was 24-0. And Yokohama really got his career going in 2012 when he started playing every day. He was in the league in 2010. So, but I'm sure a lot of honor here with these two, and a lot of coverage back in Japan with these two matching up against one another. And Tsutsugo thrilled to be in the starting lineup here tonight. Saw him in a pinch hit role last night. 2-2 the count. Right off the end of the bat into center field. Hicks got a long way to go, and he'll run it down. Aaron Hicks, excellent defensive outfielder. Both of these teams possess great defenders in center field with Hicks and Kiermaier. One away for Tanaka in the second.
Well, with the power of Tsutsugo, he was playing very deep, Aaron Hicks, so it had a long way to come, but great speed for a big athlete. See Tanaka standing in the back of the mound. Now he goes back to the mound. He gave Hicks a little extra time there after that sprint in. Catch his breath.
Situational awareness is off the charts for Tanaka. We talked about his big games as Joey Wendell pounces on the first pitch. Wendell's got it going right now. He is really swinging the bat well. He has now hit in 11 of his last 13 games. And he's hitting near 450 in that stretch with a couple of homers. A hot bat.
So the 2 hardest hit balls, the ball that Choi hit that Judge made a fine play was on the first pitch, a fastball, and the same here with Wendell. First pitch, fastball hitting for both hitters.
Going to be very interesting when this is all said and done to see how the left-handed hitters fare against Tanaka, who is so good against lefties this year. One of the 2 right-handed batters, and Adama's first ball swinging, and the Rays shortstop with a base hit. Back-to-back ambush jobs by the Rays. Wendell and Adamas 2 on with 1 away.
Well, if you're sitting on the bench and you're watching these 2 pitchers pitch, Morton through the first and here Tanaka in the second, both veterans have thrown a lot of strikes trying to get ahead of the hitters, and that was just a hanging helicopter in the middle of the plate to Adamas.
Left-handers this year hit just 188, but right-handers against Tanaka this season in the regular year, which belongs as an asterisk because it was such a short season, but right-handers hit 330 against Tanaka. But the Rays buck those trends. Going to look more back into his career, and in particular their personnel. Kevin Kiermaier now with 2 on and 1 away.
Kiermaier has 12 career hits off Tanaka and hit 3 out of his last 4. Those 3 hits were a double, a triple, and a home run. So Tampa Bay only 1 for 6 in this series with runners in scoring position.
Well, Tanaka faced the Rays 3 times this season. A good one, a bad one, and a so-so one would be how you describe those. His 4th start of the year as Kiermaier fouls that one away. One thing Tanaka is doing early going here, Ronnie, he is getting ahead often. 8 batters faced, 8 first pitch strikes.
And I think that's why you saw both Adamas and Wendell a little more aggressive on that first pitch. You don't want to get behind because that split finger can put you away.
And now Tanaka has Kiermaier 0-2. Kiermaier is an extreme ground ball hitter. He'd probably call himself a line drive hitter, but more often than not, his hard hit balls are on the ground. Tanaka would love to get a ground ball here. Those are the career numbers against Tanaka. Kiermaier's elevated a couple with 2 home runs in his career.
The way the baseball is played defensively now, you don't want to be known as a ground ball hitter.
No, exactly. No shift on for Kiermaier. The Yankees in a double play position. The shortstop Torres covering the bag as best he can with Wendell out there. 2 on, 1 out, and that one missed. 2-2 the count. And just to back up the numbers, the ground ball to second base, the most frequent result at 41% of the batted balls in the infield, but a pull hitter on the infield on the ground. Ready for a 2-2 and a wave and a miss. Tanaka had him fooled. Kiermaier strikes out for out number 2 of this second inning. Nasty pitch.
Well, Kiermaier was able to take a couple that were down the split finger, but now the slider rolled over by Tanaka, perfectly placed down at the bottom of the strike zone, or out of the strike zone.
Tanaka gets the chase. That's his 3rd strikeout. 2 men are gone, still 2 men on, and now the catcher Michael Perez with his first start of this series. He got some playing time last night. Got an at-bat last night as well. His first action in this DS, but rewarded with a start. I think the theme for Kevin Cash, as we talked to him today, he said we got to get some guys plugged in. Tsutsugo, got to get Perez in the game. Austin Meadows needs a start defensively, even though he's been the DH once. I think he's understanding that if the Rays are going to go where they want to go this postseason, they're going to have all of their pieces.
Yeah, all 28 guys are going to have to contribute, and they've been doing it all year. Why change now?
Maximizing a roster is a big cut and a foul by Perez. Playoff rosters used to be 25-man, now 28-man this year because of the pandemic, because of the shortened season. Does give the Rays a lot of options. They are at their best in that scenario. They have a lot of platoon scenarios. Scoring opportunity here in the second inning, but 2 outs now, and a pickoff play. Wendell back easily.
Tanaka is a very good fielding pitcher. He knows how to keep runners close. That wasn't for really to pick off Wendell. It was just to keep him close in case Perez was supposed to get a base hit. Give his outfielders a better chance.
Here comes a 1-1. Crowded him. 2 balls and a strike on Michael Perez. Traded from the Diamondbacks to the Tampa Bay Rays. He's now in his 3rd year as a Ray. The Rays won a lot of games this year, but they won a lot with Perez in his starts. They were 20-7. Half their wins came in Michael Perez starts behind the plate. Splits that time with Mike Zunino, who's already popped a couple of home runs. Tell you, Zunino could probably use a day off. Talk about all these pitchers who need a day off. Zunino has been carrying the load here defensively. He's been blocking a lot of pitches. Took a foul ball off the shoulder last night.
A real pig pen these last 2 days, right?
Trying to catch Blake Snell and Tyler Glasnow. 2-1 in the dirt. Good block back there by Higashioka. Much more agile catcher, excellent defender is Higashioka compared to Gary Sanchez.
Spin of the ball helped him there. You see, as soon as it hit the ground, it darted to his left, which came right into the middle of his body. You would think Perez has to see a pitch to hit here. He does not want to walk him, have the bases loaded for Austin Meadows. He'll see a pitch to hit.
Meadows, a power bat who homered last night. He's due next. Hitters count 3 balls and a strike with 2 men on, 2 outs in the inning. Takes a strike right on the edge. Perfectly placed if you're Tanaka. There's Meadows, an all-star last year and connected for his first postseason home run last night.
That's what makes Tanaka so tough. I would think he would have given in there and maybe thrown a fastball away. Instead, a picture perfect backdoor slider.
Now the count is full. Runners will get a head start with 2 outs. There they go, and a swing and a liner that is over the glove of LeMahieu into right field. In to score is Wendell. On his way to third, and in there easily is Adames. It's an RBI single for Michael Perez, and the Rays strike first here in Game 3. Well, he's the tallest second baseman going, and if you hit one over his head, you've done it.
Well, Tanaka threw the same pitch, and we talked about it before. I wonder if the shadows played a part in this, because it didn't seem like LeMahieu had the best timing on that, and the Gold Glover usually comes up with that play, but it was an awfully tough play.
You could see the sun in his face, and his eyes were closed as he's staring right into that sun. Good call. It's an RBI single for the Rays catcher, a 2-out, 2-strike RBI hit, and now back to the top of the order in Austin Meadows. Meadows on the first pitch, late on it, fouls it away.
Just didn't get up to his apex leap as that ball just brushed against the leather. Good try. Tampa Bay is 26-6, which is Major League's best when scoring first.
20th pitch of the inning is coming for Tanaka. Meadows a chance to do some damage with 2 outs here, and a swing and a miss. Chased a high fastball. That's been the Rays formula, right? Get ahead, and if you can take a lead into this very talented bullpen, they're almost unbeatable. They are unbeatable when they lead after 7 innings. Charlie Morton hardly breaking a sweat in his first inning. A 10-pitch, 7-strike first inning, retired the side in order.
Interesting. Higashioka came out to give the signs to his infielders to let them know what they're going to do in case Tampa Bay tries to run one of those little plays where the guy gets caught off first. I certainly don't think they're going to do that with Meadows hitting.
Tanaka's got him at an 0-2 count, and he strikes him out to end the inning. So the Rays strand a pair, but they score first. The 9th place hitter and the catcher, Michael Perez, delivers the first RBI of the game.
Hey, how did Aaron Judge catch that? That was like the end of his glove, right?
We appreciate Austin Meadows wearing the microphone for us, and Judge impressing even his opponents here tonight.
Well, that's exactly how everyone felt. How did he catch that ball?
Thanks to Meadows for wearing the microphone, and Willie Adames in the microphone last night. For the record, we've offered the Yankees, if they'd like to wear microphones as well, we'd be happy to listen to them, but they've been left at the door, let's say.
Okay.
Well, we're thankful to the Rays for putting those on for us, helping us go inside the game. Luke Voit leads off for New York. Voit, Stanton, Urshela. First 3 due against Charlie Morton. And a strike. Goes 0-2. Morton just pouring him in right now. Charlie Morton has only thrown 3 pitches out of the strike zone thus far of the 12 that he's offered. Working fast, he misses inside. One got away from him.
Almost got a void. Something to keep in mind here with Charlie Morton. 10 starts this season, didn't get more than 17 outs or any start, and did not throw any more than 94 pitches. Breaking ball, that's the reason Voit was able to get out of the way.
Morton was excellent in the postseason for the Rays last year. He made 2 starts. As Voit sends one to center field, routine for Kiermaier, and there is out number 1. 4 in a row retired by Charlie Morton. Giancarlo Stanton coming to the plate. And Lauren Shahade, he's making a little history with the home run ball to start his postseason this year.
Yeah, and I was standing next to the Yankees dugout, BA, when he hit that 458-foot home run. They were joking that, first of all, no way was that only 458 feet. Boone told me today, usually we jump up and celebrate, and as Ron alluded to earlier, we just watched that. We were in awe. And we asked Stanton about what he was thinking while hitting it. He said, I don't know, I blacked out.
He just takes your breath away. That's what happens when the biggest, baddest home run hitter on the planet comes to the plate. That's what he is.
He has homered in 4 consecutive postseason games, hit 2 last night, so he's got 5 home runs in the 4 games, and just the exit velocity that only a rare few can accomplish. Inside the numbers presented by DraftKings, Stanton has the hardest hit ball of the postseason. That's the one he hit last night, and they measured it at 458, and I'm sure it all works out, and the way they laser those fly balls out is correct, but it just felt like something that was more than 458. As Stanton takes a strike.
That's one way to look at it. Maybe they don't have a clue when it comes to a certain distance.
Challenging the information age, Ron. As a ball away. Daniel Murphy hit home runs in 6 consecutive games for the Mets in the postseason in 15. He's got the record all time. Carlos Beltran, George Springer had homers in 5 straight games, and then there's Stanton. And down he goes. Charlie Morton with a strikeout, 5 in a row, retired. That's his first K of the game.
In the clinching game against the Yankees in 2017 in the ALCS, Morton threw 5 shutout innings. That is a little cutter from Charlie Morton. He's got the fastball that rides at 95 plus, that little cutter, and a sweeping breaking ball.
Had 2 5-inning starts for Tampa Bay last year in the postseason against his old team, the Astros. First ball swinging, Gio Urshela. Speaking of the Astros, the A's with a comeback win today. Oakland trailed 7-4 in the 7th inning, scored 3 in the 7th, 2 more in the 8th. Up and in it goes. That was Oakland's first win of that series. A's hit 5 homers in that game. There have been 18 hit between the 2 teams in the series in 3 games. And Oakland made a little history today. First time in MLB postseason history, all 4 infielders homered in the same game, and that's been a similar theme in this series. A couple hours south of LA here in San Diego, where we've had 12 home runs in the first 2 games, 6 and 6.
Don Orsillo, the voice of the Padres, he's been calling home runs all season long.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Slam Diego. Team that hit 7 grand slams. Padres and Dodgers are often running in their series. The Dodgers won last night. Padres are fighting some injuries right now. They're going to go with Zach Davies in game 2. 2-2 is fouled away. Urshela behind on a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Gleyber Torres due next. Morton at 36, still excellent velocity, big movement. He's got a great curveball, one of the best breaking balls in the game still, and he powers up. Torres right there, strikes him out with a fastball at 96 miles an hour. Charlie Morton is off and running here in game 3. 6 up, 6 down. Our T-Mobile base cam, and we'd like to thank Shutt Sports, the official base manufacturer for Major League Baseball. Invaluable in the helping of the design, the inside of the base, where all the electronics are housed, which provide these compelling pictures from base cam. Awesome views from down on the field. Brandon Lau leads off against Tanaka. 3rd inning from Petco Park in San Diego. 1-0 Rays lead on a 2-out, 2-strike RBI single by Michael Perez, the Rays catcher. Lau, Arozarena, Choi due up here against Tanaka, and a swing and a miss. Chased one upstairs. Lau falling behind 0-2.
Talking about Perez, is there anything better? They'll never say this, but for a manager, when you plug a guy in and he gets a base knock on his first time up.
That was the feeling Aaron Boone had as well in game one. Of course, he's catching Garrett Cole, which has been a familiar matchup. Higashioka hit a homer in that game out of the 9 spot. Catchers have had some success. That's a little flare, half swing, pop up, run down easily by Urshela, and out number 1. You could officially call Brandon Lau in a slump right now at the worst time.
As hot as Arozarena is as cold as Lau is.
So 1 away, and Lau trying to solve the riddles. This can be a very humbling game. On the other side of that, as Ron mentioned, is this guy Randy Arozarena. I mean, everything he's touching right now is finding a hole or going out of the ballpark. Had a base hit with 2 outs in the first inning. Takes one right down the chute. Arozarena now 10 hits in 17 postseason at bats this year, including 2 homers and 3 runs batted in. Arozarena's got another base hit. Man, is this guy on a tear right now. 2 for 2, 2 singles, and with all that speed at first base, he is aboard with 1 out.
Well, they were trying to go inside with the fastball right down the middle from Tanaka. He missed his spot, and right now Arozarena will not miss those pitches.
Gave this number last night. Yeah, we're not worthy. We're not worthy, man. He's got 6 multi-hit games in his last 9 in the lineup. You get a couple of multi-hit games in 9, you're feeling pretty good about it. Had back-to-back games with 3 hits, 2 last night. He's got 2 more tonight already. Ji-Man Choi. Check on Arozarena.
Last time I would see a display here in San Diego like that, the late great Tony Gwynn was still playing in the San Diego uniform.
That's a really good call. Really good call. Tony Gwynn, the name of the street that corners one of these streets around the ballpark. Got the statue out there. Mr. Padre, Tony Gwynn. Man, what a hitter. Choi jumped on the first pitch his last time up. That was that play by Judge. He hit right field, that outstanding catch. You're going to be seeing that highlight all over. It would have been a great catch without the shadows and the sunlight shining in his face, but under the conditions of that play in the first inning, that was extraordinary.
Tanaka's trying to pitch the hitters on the left side and right side in. He hasn't been able to throw that fastball in for a strike, though. I had never seen that sign before, but now I know what it means.
I couldn't wait to see what was going to happen
now
there.
I know what it means. Throw over to first.
I've never seen that. Usually, what's the traditional sign? You kind of like roll your thumb over to first, or?
Well, the roll over thumb when I played, that meant to hit the batter.
Oh, okay. I
but
thought that was the flick.
Now it becomes throw at the first base.
Yeah. The 3, traditionally the slider. We'll see if that's what he gets here. Can be a dangerous pitch. 2-0 the count. And he caught the outside corner. He's done that a couple of times on the left-handed batters.
He just doesn't want to throw you a fastball on a fastball count, so he's always going to spin it just enough to get a strike.
His impeccable command. 31 years of age.
But it's been a harder go for him. Morton's made it look easy.
Maybe the splitter here. Arozarena the lead at first. One out in the inning. There he goes. And a rollover ground ball. LeMahieu will make the play. Rosarena to second base. Fell behind 2-0, but two impeccably placed pitches. The slider and the change, and he gets the ground ball out for out number 2. I don't know if he saw that look there. He and Higashioka making eye contact with one another. He's kind of like leaning inside, pointing inside. There is a hitter's card in his hat as well that he's checking. And then that is connected to that wristband that Higashioka wears. That's all matchup based. How to pitch certain hitters in this lineup.
Although Tsutsugo is 0 for 7 off Tanaka, I thought this was a good matchup for him. I've seen him play 3 times now, and the higher velocity guys that throw it up in the strike zone gives him a little issue. But the guys who spin it, less velocity, I think matches his swing much better.
Book on him has been a low ball hitter. A lot of lefty power hitters are that. Well, he had a good lash at that one. Fouls it back. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Yoshitomo Tsutsugo. His first year in the major leagues. Had a pretty legendary career going in Japan for the Yokohama Bay Stars. He attended a Yankees Astros game last year with Tanaka on the mound, and then shortly thereafter decided, maybe his mind was already made up, but decided he would give it a go and posted to be available to play in the major leagues, which means the Rays had to pay a posting fee to the Yokohama club for the rights to Tsutsugo. That's how that works coming over from Japan. Never imagined this would be the kind of year it turned out to be when he signed to play with the Tampa Bay Rays. The shutdown, the pandemic, but here he is in the postseason facing the Yankees. Tsutsugo was one of the great home run hitters, home run derby champ, home run leader a number of years. Hit 139 years in a 4-year span with Yokohama, and they loved him over there, and finally thought it was time to face the best pitching in the world in Major League Baseball.
It made me just miss the fans in the ballpark.
Yeah, good point. They have great fans over there in Japan too. It was fun watching all those KBO games as well in Korea.
That's
Korea,
right.
Japan. They love baseball. Great history there of baseball. Japan first, and Korea in the last 20 years or so has really become a great baseball destination for many, if you're not playing here in Major League Baseball in the States. Popped him up. Got him out ahead of one. That's going to drift into foul territory. And Voigt will put it away for the out. Retires the side. Rosarena stays hot. His second hit, but no damage for Tanaka in the third. Padre country here in San Diego. Their Padres will be taking on the Dodgers in ALDS. Game 2 coming up at 9:08, and that's on FS1. Good pitching matchup. They announced that Zach Davies will get the start for San Diego.
Zach Davies had a good year for San Diego, but he's going up against Clayton Kershaw, who was impeccable in his first start. 8 innings, 8 shutout innings.
Charlie Morton back to work as we head to the bottom of the third inning. 6 up, 6 down for Charlie Morton, facing Gleyber Torres to start this third. Bottom of the order coming up. Morton has been efficient, pounding the strike zone, and quickly gets ahead 0-2 on Torres.
Working quickly, as quick as anyone we've seen on the mound here in the postseason.
11 days between starts, and a wave and a miss. Struck him out on 3 consecutive pitches. Got him with a breaking ball that time. Strikeout number 4 for Morton. Moments ago, Lauren had a chance to catch up with Rays skipper Kevin Cash.
Kevin, why is Charlie Morton barely breaking a sweat?
I'm not sure. I wish I had a good answer. He's well rested, that's for sure, and his fastball's coming out really, really well.
Your number 9 hitter hasn't started in 9 days, makes it 1-0. What can that say about your depth?
You know, Mikey, a lot of depth, but Mikey's got some big hits for us, and that was a big one right there to get us an early lead.
Appreciate it, Kevin.
Yep.
Well, you know, when you think about Charlie Morton's career, Lauren, is that it's been kind of a stop and start. It's the beginning of his career, a lot of injuries, a lot of inconsistency. Then when he was pitching in with the Pirates, had some good years, but more of a sinker ball pitcher then, getting a lot of ground balls.
Yeah, Ron, I see guys in the bullpen now wearing Charlie freaking Morton t-shirts, and that goes back to his days with the Pirates. He was called Ground Chuck because he was always inducing ground balls like we've seen, but the nickname has evolved over the years, as you can tell.
It's Brett Gardner with the first base hit of the game as he slaps one to the opposite field. Yeah, you could put that name on a t-shirt, but the Bucky Dent one, you really, I mean, that's the one to avoid.
Well, I think Charlie's a New England kid, so maybe that's where that came from. So,
living in the Tampa area, that's one of the reasons he decided to extend his career with the Rays, because that was basically home for him. So after retiring 7 in a row, Morton gives up his first base hit. Brett Gardner with the single to the opposite field, and now the 9-hole hitter Kyle Higashioka. You heard Lauren ask Kevin Cash about his 9th place hitter, Michael Perez, also the catcher, had the RBI single in the second. Higashioka has been able to swing the bat well, and he's earned this start here tonight, despite not catching Tanaka this year, except for one start of Tanaka's on September 1st.
One good start, though.
Went 6 innings and 2 runs that day against the Rays. But Higashioka, I think under normal circumstances, if Gary Sanchez is not struggling as he is, he would be the backup catcher, and it's not necessarily that way right now. Even Aaron Boone referenced Higashioka and his ability at the plate. Still not a plus hitter, but he's been able to get his hits and hit a big home run here in Game 1.
It's not unprecedented that you come to the postseason and sometimes the hot hand is your backup catcher or your 4th infielder or 5th infielder.
Two balls and a strike. Morton's first time in the stretch after that base hit by Gardner. 4 strikeouts for Morton, 2 outs on the ground.
Brian Higashioka, sorry, his last 7, 9 for 25, 4 home runs, 9 RBIs.
Now, when you have the defensive skills that he has, and then you add a little bit of offense, those are bonus runs he gives you. You can understand why Aaron Boone went with him. And a big swing and a foul. Chased one upstairs. Morton was not happy with the result of that pitch. Location anyway. Marking it himself.
Only 2 attempted steals against Morton this year. No one was successful, so he's pretty good at controlling the running game. Doesn't look like either team in this series so far is in any interest in running. So many home runs being hit base to base.
Hard to justify.
Yep.
2-2 on the ground. This is in the hole, though. Adames knocks it down, but no play anywhere. And Higashioka keeps on swinging the bat. He puts another hit on the board, back-to-back singles.
Well, you couldn't place this any better. Wendell closer to the line, so he couldn't get to it. And by the time Adames got to it with the backhand, even if he made the play, it would have been a difficult throw to first. And when you're hot, those are the kind of hits you get.
That's what keeps you in the lineup, too. Managers feel that as well. The numbers can tell you a big story, and a lot of managers are using the analytics, the stories, the matchups, but there's also that feel part of the game, and Aaron Boone had a feeling about Higashioka here tonight. Two on with one away. Second time around, DJ LeMahieu, who grounded out his first time up. Drove in a run in the 9th inning last night. Yankees put the go-ahead run at the plate in Aaron Judge last night. Tampa Bay won the game 7-5. Yankees won the opener 9-3. Pounded out 15 hits in that opening game, did the Yankees, with 4 homers, and then the Rays returned the favor last night. Tampa Bay hit 4 home runs last night. And a 7-5 final. LeMahieu lays off. 3 balls, no strikes on LeMahieu.
First time Morton in trouble here.
Good success in the regular season in his career. That hit last night in the 9th for LeMahieu gives him 10 consecutive games with hits in the postseason. Let's see if he's got the green light here. 3-0. 2 on, 1 away. Taking all the way, takes one right down the middle.
When DJ LeMahieu's up, if you're on the right side of the diamond, Lau, Choi, or Meadows out in right field, you got to feel like the ball's coming your way. Meadows, who hasn't played a lot of right field.
No longer dealing with the setting sun. And LeMahieu draws the walk. Now they are loaded. So the first real trouble of the night for Charlie Morton. Bases loaded with Judge coming up. By the way, Raleigh, some housekeeping here. They scored that ball off the bat of Higashioka, an error.
Yeah, that's not
I'm going to leave it in as a hit for now. You let me know.
It's a base hit. They'll
reassess.
Okay,
I'm going to leave it in as a hit for now. I didn't think he had to play anywhere. Nevertheless, the bases are loaded. And here comes Judge, who bounced out his first time up. And Judge in the air, shallow right. That's going to be Meadows. Got a strong arm. Gardner tags. Here comes the throw. And it's late. And the Yankees are on the board. Aaron Judge with a sacrifice fly at an RBI. We are tied at 1 as Judge delivers his 4th ribby of the postseason.
Well, Gardner got this inning started just deep enough off the bat of Judge to score him.
Aaron Judge puts the Yankees on the board for the first time, wasting no time either. Still first and second for New York with Aaron Hicks coming up. Hicks off to a good start this postseason as well. Hicks drove in a couple of runs in game 1. Always a patient hitter, Aaron Hicks. He will battle at the plate. Draws a lot of walks, especially in situations like this. You get 2 outs, runner in scoring position. 4 for 10 this year. He had 7 walks. Typically getting into deep counts. This Yankees lineup can be relentless in that category. They see a ton of pitches now that they've got all their pieces back together as well. Played so many games without their stars in the lineup together. But they are made whole once again. They've been swinging the bat very well in this postseason. Swept the Cleveland Indians in that 2-game a 3-game wild card series. They won the first 2 and won the series. Scored 22 runs against the league's best ERA in the Indians. Put 9 on the board in game 1 here, and then they scored 5 last night.
Pretty obvious that Morton has not been as effective with his control once Gardner got the hit and he had to pitch from the stretch.
The 1-1 down and in. Giancarlo Stanton hoping for a shot here in this 3rd inning. Those are the numbers. 9 runs per game on average. Big OPS, just under 1,000. And the home runs are flying out of here for the New York Yankees. They've hit 6 in this series. Stan has 4 of those. Morton deals, and that one missed, not by much. Good take by Aaron Hicks. Now it's 3-1. Morton is frustrated.
He'll throw that fastball that comes back over the inside part of the plate, but looks like it didn't come all the way back. I think that's a good call by Mark Carlson.
Carlson is the crew chief in this 6-man umpiring crew. Big pitch coming right here from Morton. 2 men are out, and Hicks draws the walk. Another patient at bat by Aaron Hicks. Once again, they are loaded for the Yankees, and that's going to mean a mound visit. So Charlie Morton retired the first 7 batters he faced. Kyle Snyder on his way out to have a chat.
You know, sometimes these visits are for a lot of variety of reasons. With a veteran pitcher, he knows what kind of trouble he's in. There's nothing you're going to tell him to help. But what you're trying to do, 1, give him a blow because he's been out there a long time, and 2, you could see the frustration he had on a couple of pitches that he thought were strikes, just to let him get that anger out and get ready to pitch to Luke Voit.
And Mark Carlson will break it up.
Need to focus on the game? Hey Siri, turn on Do Not Disturb.
So Charlie Morton laboring in this 3rd inning. They're loaded up once again. Gardner has scored on the sac fly. Higashioka now at 3rd with LeMahieu and Hicks aboard. Luke Voit coming up. And he missed with a breaking ball.
Ever since he's gotten in the stretch, he's really holding on to that breaking ball too long, really pulling it to the glove side.
As easy as it was through the first 2 innings, has been anything but here in this 3rd. He's given up 2 hits. He's walked 2. A run is in. Voit doesn't bite on that one, and it's 2-0 now. And Morton going to be forced to come in there on Luke Voit. With Stanton due next. Yankees in their pinstripes on this neutral site. They are the home team looking to do damage. And now Morton down 3 balls and no strikes.
That ball was supposed to be inside and down the Voit. He missed in the left-hander's batter's box. Like Judge, only 1 hit, but it was a home run.
Morton deals. Got the call. 3 balls and a strike to count. Luke Voit has had a knack for delivering with the bases loaded. Career batting average of .344 with the bases sacked. Well, you never know when those swing pitches are going to happen. Those moments in the game, it could be early. And here in the 3rd inning, 1 swing of the bat, especially with the majors home run champ, could completely change this game. As Voit takes a strike right on the edge with a fastball.
2 of them, 3-0, 3-1, right on the corner. Starts out a little outside, but that natural tail that he has on the fastball comes back and catches the corner.
Comeback sinker. Let's see what he has in mind now. 3-2 pitch. Runners go, and it's beat right into the ground. Adames will wind it up, and that will retire the side. That's a big out for Charlie Morton and the Rays. The Yankees strand him loaded, but they do tie it up on the Judge sac fly. Back at Petco Park, San Diego, it is all tied at 1. MLB's postseason rolling on here. And one of the 4 MLB bubbles. Tampa Bay against the New York Yankees, and the Rays jumped out early with the scoring. Led 1-0 after Michael Perez's RBI single in the second. Aaron Judge with a sacrifice fly has tied it at 1. 4th inning now. Joey Wendell, Willy Adames, Kevin Kiermaier will start it. Masahiro Tanaka has 3 innings in the books. And deals a strike. Count is 1-1 on Joey Wendell, who jumped on the first pitch he saw last time up. Delivered a single into right center. Wendell, an excellent player, versatile piece for these Rays. One of the many versatile pieces that they have. Can play infield, outfield. He's just a good ball player. He plays all over. Joey Wendell, super utility man. Spent time with the Indians, the A's. He's found a home here with the Rays. And that one's on the ground. The shift is on, and a base hit for Joey Wendell. He starts this 4th inning with a single. Runner on for the Rays. Moments ago, Lauren caught up with Yankee skipper Aaron Boone.
Aaron, how do you think Tanaka and Higgy are working together so far?
Good. I feel like Tampa's had some good at-bats against him, hit some balls hard against him, but he's made a lot of big pitches when he's needed to so far.
The shadows early. Are you guys seeing Morton a little better?
I think so. No question that as it gets to where it is now, it shouldn't be much of a factor.
Aaron, appreciate it.
Yep.
All right, thanks to Aaron Boone. Thank you, Lauren. Insights from the managers here in this game 3. Shadows definitely not as much of a factor. Still the twilight part of the night, but again, starting an hour earlier, it looked like the pitchers had a great advantage in that first inning. And for Morton, who retired 7 in a row, but coming off a 27 pitch 3rd inning, Yankees only get 1 out of that, though. Key game 3 to see who goes up 2-1 and gets within a victory from advancing to the ALCS. Dallas takes a ball low.
I loved your interaction with Aaron Boone today. You asked him, why would you leave a cushy TV job to become a manager? It was a rough day, of course. And he said, chasing that prize.
Yeah, chasing that prize, and he loves every bit of it. He loves the stress of it, too. He talks about the pressure of it. There's privilege in the pressure. And I think he had a great understanding, he and Brian Cashman, and all the way down the chain, using the opener yesterday. There was an understanding that if it didn't go well, there was going to be a lot of discussion, backlash. But in his mind, there you see Brian Cashman, in his mind, now you're set up in a best 2 out of 3. So worst case scenario, you lose the game last night, and he feels like he has all of his pieces put together from a pitching side for these last 3 games potentially. He's got Tanaka, the number 2 starter. Garrett Cole is looming. He could come back in a game 5 scenario. That's the number 1 starter. You got your 3 best relievers all rested and ready to go as well. And put your strength against Tampa Bay strength, and that's the thinking of the Yankees leading into this game 3. Adames takes a strike.
I played in that market for 10 years. You got to have big shoulders if you're going to. There's going to be times that it will be so burdensome.
Well, Jordan Montgomery will get the start for game 4. The left-hander, they may go an opposite setup tomorrow with Montgomery. Davey Garcia is still available. Could see him tomorrow. He's the guy who opened the game and pitched an inning. And it's not so much that the Yankees use an opener. I think the criticism is fair that it was the pitcher who came in after the opener. That was Jay Happ, a starting pitcher, been around a long time, been a starter, and hasn't really participated in that role, even though the Yankees have used an opener in the past, even going back to last year. So that's not so out of the ordinary, but I think, you know, Happ didn't pitch well.
Yeah.
He said he was surprised at the game plan of the Yankees in his post-game press conference. Adames takes one just under the hands, able to check his swing there. 3 balls and 2 strikes. This is where the depth is really going to be tested, though. As we mentioned in the open, you get into the third game here, no days off. This would normally be a travel day, and then the series would have resumed in New York tomorrow under normal circumstances. But with no days off, that really forces these managers to not chase wins when they are down in games, but manage that bullpen. Man, is that cool?
Wendell had a big lead and was leaning, so might have tipped his hand at 3-2, maybe on the go here.
T-Mobile base cam giving you a great look. Full count. There he goes, and the throw down to second, not going to matter, and it's going to be ball 4. Adames was waiting as well, so that'll be ball 4, first and second. 2 on, nobody out to start this 4th inning. So Wendell was on the move.
I like Tampa Bay being aggressive there early. Put some heat on Tanaka and the Yankees.
T-Mobile base cam gives you a slide. It's a good pick back there by Higashioka, but now the Yankees in trouble here. Tampa Bay threatening with 2 on. Kevin Kiermaier at the plate. The sacrifice bunt has been a rare bird in baseball, especially this year and in this postseason. But as we mentioned, Kiermaier, a ground ball hitter, line drive hitter. See what he has in mind. Takes a rip and sends one way back into right field. Judge is on the run. He's at the wall, and she's gone. Kevin Kiermaier put some launch angle on that one. A 3-run home run, and the Rays up 4-1. Damage from the bottom of the batting order once again for Tampa Bay. Kevin Kiermaier with a 3-run blast. His first home run of the postseason, his 13th in his career against the Yankees. And Kiermaier gives the Rays a big lift here in this 4th inning.
And his 3rd against Tanaka. Gets a little slider in the middle of the plate and didn't miss it.
Take that for line drive ground ball hitter, huh? First ball swinging. Perez. Shift was on out there in the grass. LeMahieu to make the play for the out. First out of the inning.
Well, just sped up the bat of Kiermaier, sat right in the middle of the plate. When you get a hanging slider, it's almost like it's sitting on a tee for the hitter.
Rays hit 4 home runs last night. They get a 3-run home run tonight from Kiermaier. First out recorded for Tanaka. Back to the top of the order, and Meadows breaks his bat. It's going to be LeMahieu again. Couple of 4-3 ground outs following the home run. And with 2 outs, we remind you, you can tell Utz when and where you see the little Utz girl in the stadium using hashtag #ISpotLittleUtzGirl. And we will donate $1 each for the first 10,000 hashtags to MLB charities in support of the Play Ball initiative. Big cut and a miss for Brandon Lau.
7 home runs now for the Rays in these 3 games.
And 13 in the series. Astros A's have hit 18 combined home runs in their series in 3 games.
as a pitcher, give up a 3-run home run like that early takes the wind out of your sails, because now you have to be perfect the rest of the way, or as long as you're out there, if you're going to try to keep your team close.
Lau takes a ball low. 2-1 the count. That's the beauty of this game. I mean, the numbers tell one story. Kiermaier actually had a negative launch angle this year, but when he got one he could handle, he had that uppercut swing and launched it out for a 3-run blast. Players adjust.
Yankees had the bases loaded twice, only able to scratch out a run. First 2 get on in the next inning. Kiermaier hits a 3-run bomb.
That ground ball out off the bat of Luke Voit. That's a significant moment in the game for Charlie Morton. Was laboring, pushing near 30 pitches last inning. Swing at him as Lau just off his timing. You can just see it in his body language. He's in a battle right now. 0 for his last 12 at the plate. Full count, 2 outs. Voit will take it to the bag, and that will retire the side. But the Rays get some action from the bottom of their lineup once again. It was Perez who drove in the first run out of the 9 spot. Kiermaier, a 3-run blast out of the 8 spot in the order. 4-1 Tampa Bay. Major League Baseball encourages fans to take an active role in their communities and make a plan to vote this election season. Visit MLB.com/vote to learn more. It is a 4-1 Tampa Bay lead after the Kevin Kiermaier 3-run home run. Giancarlo Stanton leads the way for the Yankees here in this bottom of the 4th inning. Charlie Morton had a 27-pitch third. Been a couple of swing plays here early. Judge made a great play defensively in the first inning that ended the inning and prevented a run from scoring. Luke Voit grounding out with the bases loaded last inning was a big one. There's a strike to Stanton. He is unable to check his swing, and it's 1-2. I think it's fairly significant too that potential strike him out, throw him out last inning with Adames at the plate. And there's a called strike 3. Down goes Stanton. Charlie Morton picks up a strikeout. Second time he has struck out Giancarlo Stanton.
This is the 3-2 pitch to Adames. A slider right down the middle. Could have been down, but Tanaka, his arms across, saying, where was that pitch? He thought it was a strike. It would have been strike him out, throw him out, and Kiermaier wouldn't have had his great moment.
Looked like it was down. Tough for an umpire to call those with the catcher coming out of the chute to make a throw like that as well. But the Yankees were barking a little bit between innings at the home plate umpire Mark Carlson.
Listen, you want every close pitch this time of year.
Urshela at an 0-2 count. Morton's come back on the attack here in this 4th. Morton with 5 strikeouts now. He got Urshela back in the 2nd inning. Been since September 25th since Charlie Morton started a ball game for the Tampa Bay Rays, because the Rays won in 2 games in their wild card series. Morton did not start, but at 36 years of age, with all the feel and the big games he's pitched in, I think there was a lot of confidence. If there was a guy who was going to take the extra rest, it was going to be Morton. High fly ball to center field. Kiermaier will settle under this one. Urshela retired.
You know, Brian, he missed 3 weeks in August because of shoulder inflammation. Hurt his arm pitching against the Yankees, in fact, in early August. And maybe that extra rest got him time to really heal up that 36-year-old right arm.
Started 9 games this year. Kyle Snyder, Rays pitching coach, went for a mound meeting last inning to give his right-hander a little bit of a breather, and he is able to work out of a bases-loaded mess. Now he's got the first 2 retired here in the 4th. Gleyber Torres at the plate. First ball swinging. Correction on the strikeouts for Morton. He's got 4 now, not 5. And you got Torres in the 3rd. Morton signed a 2-year deal to pitch for the Rays. This is the 2nd of that deal. There is a club option for next year, but there's been some rumors and some contemplation that Morton may hang him up. We'll see. Line shot into center field. Torres with a base hit. 2-out single. And the Yankees put a man on. Start dealing with injuries, Ron, and you mentioned the shoulder strain in August, came back September 2nd. That's when players start to think about the life after baseball. But you know, he's had an incredible career. He was injured off early in his career, had shoulder problems, Tommy John surgery back in 2013, had a couple of hip surgeries, never really was the representative Charlie Morton that we've seen here in the latter stages of his career when he was a young pitcher in his 20s.
Well, there was talk after they won the World Championship in 2017 that he was going to retire, but he just keeps on going.
It was so good. That 2017 run with the Houston Astros. Brett Gardner singled off Morton. That was back in the 3rd inning. That was the first hit allowed. That put Morton in the stretch for the first time. Gardner and Higashioka, the 2 additions to the lineup here tonight. It's been Frazier the first 2 games. Clint Frazier started games 1 and 2. Homered in game 1. Gardner seeing some playing time though. Got 3 plate appearances in game 1 coming in for Frazier.
Gardner had a tough season. Numbers don't show that he had a good season, but he ended it pretty hot.
1-1 pitch. 1-2 now.
Last 18 games for Gardner, .395 average, 3 home runs, 9 RBIs, and 12 runs scored.
37 years of age. He's the one link to the last Yankees championship, number 27. That was the 2009 World Series title team. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Perez calling for a high strike. Might have been a little possum there by the Rays catcher as Morton flips a curveball in. Unless he wanted a high curveball.
Well, I don't think he wanted it because Gardner's upset that he missed it. Thought he had a pitch to hit. Let's see the reaction from Gardner. Well, first the pitch from Morton.
See catchers do that. There is some concern that there's information given to Gardner somehow, somewhere about pitch location. Trying to get him off the scent. Back to the curve he goes, and he got him. Down goes Gardner. A strikeout for Charlie Morton. Yankees get a single with 2 outs from Torres. Charlie Morton now with 5 strikeouts through the first 4 innings. 4-1 Rays.
The MLB postseason on TBS is brought to you by Utz Snacks, irresistible home-style flavors. By DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of Major League Baseball. Download the app to try it free today. And by HBO Max, stream all new originals, movies, and more.
Here we go to the 5th inning. Game 3. Randy Arozarena on the first pitch. Sends it deep into left. And there goes another one for Arozarena. Unstoppable right now. Randy Arozarena. 3 more hits tonight. He has homered in each of the first 3 games of this division series. And the Rays are up 5-1. He's making a hard game look easy right now, Ronnie. Wow. And that's going to be the last pitch that Tanaka throws. 5-1 Rays. Green will be next, and Arozarena, have they found something here? A lightning bolt. Maybe Kevin Cash was on something when he called him the Cuban Mookie Betts. He's looking every bit of Mookie Betts right now. Randy Arozarena making a name for himself in this 2020 postseason. Tanaka's gone. 5-1 Rays.
You know, the postseasons, you'll have this emerging stars that a lot of baseball people don't know about. A guy that didn't start until August 30th because he was COVID positive, but he has been red hot in this postseason. Maybe the hottest hitter in all of the postseason. Home runs, singles, doubles, triples, were not worthy. And another first pitch slider from Tanaka, the same pitch he threw to Kiermaier, ends up with another home run.
12 hits in 5 games in the postseason. 3 home runs in each of the first 3 games of this division series. Randy Arozarena defected from Cuba, played in Mexico, ended up in the Cardinals system, made it to the big leagues with the Cardinals, was on their postseason roster last year, and then traded to the Rays this past offseason. What a gem they have in him. So Aaron Boone down 4 runs now, going with Chad Green. Take a look at tonight's reliever spotlight presented by Hankook Tire.
Well, Chad Green is a guy that you would use a little later in the game, but you've got to stop the onslaught here by the Tampa Bay Rays and have some quiet innings for the Yankees.
Ji-Man Choi takes a strike. So Green was warming up as that inning started. Arozarena on the first pitch homers. And Ronnie, we've talked a little bit in this series about the no off days and chasing the wins when you're down. Aaron Boone's going with one of his A relievers here in Chad Green, down 4 runs in the 5th inning.
Brian, 4 runs shouldn't mean a lot, although Charlie Morton's throwing the ball so well, but you're not going to see Morton go into the 7th or 8th inning. So it shouldn't mean anything to that offense for the Yankees, but you have to keep it right where it is, and that's why Green's in.
This series turning into a best 2 of 3 now that the series is even at 1 apiece. Choi muscles one into left field. That's going to fall for a base hit. Back-to-back hits to start this 5th inning. Green gives up a single to Ji-Man Choi, and the Rays keep the pressure on as we send it down to Lauren Shahadi.
Well, Brian, Ron said Randy was COVID positive earlier in this season. The good news is he was asymptomatic. The bad is that he tested positive for almost an entire month. He stayed in his apartment, couldn't leave. The only thing he knew how to cook, chicken and rice. So a steady diet of protein and 300 push-ups a day just because of boredom. Gained 15 pounds of muscle. This guy, we ate ice cream all quarantine. This guy gets shredded, right?
He is ripped, and we saw him last year in the playoffs with the Cardinals. He certainly didn't look like that. A swing at a foul out of play. He does have some history here that he has achieved. Consecutive games with an extra base hit to start a postseason. He's matched a major league record with 5 after that home run. 2 singles to start his day. 12 hits in 5 games. He was sparingly used for the Cardinals in the postseason last year. Played in 5 games.
More like a pinch runner, right?
Pinch run, defensive replacement. He is an impact player in this postseason for the Rays. Tsutsugo takes a strike inside corner. Tanaka goes 4+. And 5 runs allowed here tonight in game 3. And a called strike 3. Tsutsugo is rung up. Chad Green picks up his first out. It is a punch out. And out number 1 here in the 5th inning with a runner at first.
Bit of a strange feeling for Tanaka coming to the end of that 7-year contract. It's the last time he wears the pinstripes. Who knows?
You never know. Yankees don't advance. Contract's up. Who knows where it goes from here? Hoping that is not the case. He is hoping his offense, which is a prolific offense, can fight their way back into this one. You could make the same case for Charlie Morton as well. I mean, I think these pitchers know that. They come into an end of an era, and I think Tanaka is going to continue to pitch for a long time. But Charlie Morton, you don't know. I mean, taking every start as if it could be his last, and it certainly could be. He's pitching well thus far. Got out of a huge jam in the 3rd inning. Bounced back with a scoreless 4th. Did Charlie Morton. Wendell's had a nice night. 2 hits. He scored twice. Scored the first run of the game on the base hit RBI by Perez, and was on with the 3-run homer from Kiermaier. Keeping the eye drops in between his trips to the mound as Wendell fouls it back.
Probably a contact lens wearer.
Weather's been unusual here. San Diego. Some humidity in the air. Today a little bit cooler. But the ball has certainly been flying out of these ballparks on the West Coast. We've seen it in LA. And certainly here at Petco Park. Wendell able to lay off. Good block back there by Higashioka. That keeps Choi at first, keeps a double play intact.
And again, gets over there, just uses that chest protector, tries to take the glove out of play so it doesn't carry him off the heel of the glove.
Chad Green working here in the 5th inning. Tanaka chased after 5 runs allowed. And a swing at a miss. He got him. Green wipes him out. Back-to-back Ks for Green. Wendell's been a tough man to retire. And Green now with 2 away.
Green, when he first came up, you saw almost primarily fastballs, a big arm. But he's been working on that breaking ball all season long, and it's gotten better and better.
Adames takes a strike.
The walk to Adames by Tanaka with the runner Wendell running at first is the one that's going to keep him up at night.
It was a close pitch.
Close pitch.
Could have changed the complexion of the inning. Certainly with Wendell on the move, would have been a strike him out, throw him out. And you could tell Adames wasn't sure. I mean, he was begging a little bit. Tanaka was frustrated not to get the call. But it did look low. And then Kiermaier went deep. The next batter. Adames hits it sharply. They had the bit of a shift on from the hole. Nice peg by Torres. Had a man there. Strong throw across the diamond, and that will retire the side. But Randy Arozarena continues to be the breakout star of this 2020 postseason. 12 hits. Now his 3rd home run of the DS. It's 5-1 Rays. You know, 1 in 5 kids in the U.S. may not be able to afford to play ball next season. You can text Little League to 313131, and T-Mobile will donate $1 to their Little League call-up grant program so our kids can keep playing ball. Cardboard cutouts, all the kids enjoying this one in the cardboard version of it. Millions watching at home. We miss the fans. We miss all of you being able to enjoy this great game in person, but we know you're out there, and this MLB postseason rolls on in the middle of a pandemic. Charlie Morton back to work. Key inning here for him. Fly ball to center field. Higashioka is out number 1 for Charlie Morton. So Ronnie, now you get into the third time through the batting order.
Yep.
LeMahieu and Judge next to hit, and if you're Kevin Cash managing the Tampa Bay Rays, you're trying to get as many innings out of you can right now for Charlie Morton. It makes the decisions on the bullpen much easier.
Well, what helps is that he's got his good stuff, so you know that that's not going to be an issue. But you know the numbers also. Third time through the lineup for Charlie Morton this year, batting average against .381.
DJ LeMahieu takes a ball. Morton was on the ropes in the third. LeMahieu drew a walk to load the bases with 1 out. Judge responded with a sac fly. Then the Yankees loaded him up again, and Voit had a key ground out to end the inning with the bases full. Yankees have 2 hits, both coming from the bottom of their order. Gardner and Higashioka. 1 through 6 in this lineup. 0 for 9. A couple of walks and an RBI with that sac fly. And LeMahieu takes a ball inside, and it's 3-0.
Second time he's gone 3-0 on LeMahieu.
Yankees are into their bullpen. Tanaka out. Chad Green cleans up the inning in the 5th. And there's strike 1 to LeMahieu. The postseason always boils down to the bullpens on some level. It's usually the biggest factor. Heavy activity last night from the bullpen. The big 3 pitch for the Rays, and you'll probably see him tonight if they maintain this lead. Slow roller, going to stay fair, and that'll be an infield hit for DJ LeMahieu.
Well, full swing 45-footer. Nothing you can do about that one except put it in your back pocket.
And the man who hits the ball as hard as anyone, hard hit percentage this year, led the American League. And a little slow roller that barely registered, and he is aboard. That brings up Aaron Judge. First ball swinging right off the end of the bat.
Came up with the bases loaded in the third. Sacrifice fly.
That was on the first pitch as well. Drove in his 3rd run. Activity in the Yankee bullpen. Sessa gets loose, so Green to get through that 5th inning after the home run by Arozarena. And it looks like Sessa will be next. Crowded him that time. Judge was waiting for that to break into the middle of the zone. It never did. 0-2 the count now on Aaron Judge. Morton looking for that ground ball pitch here, and Judge takes a ball down and away. 1-2 the count.
Morton, despite being able to get ground balls at times, no double plays this year.
And he was a guy early in his career, that sinker slider pitcher. He's started to pitch up in the zone a lot more, but still has that power sinker. And there's a swing and a miss. He's got that one too. The power curve strikes out Judge. That's strikeout number 6, out number 2 of this 5th inning.
He hung one to Judge earlier. He missed it. And this one he did not. He's got that 3-quarter action. It's a big sweeping breaking ball. Ends up down and away.
So Charlie Morton comes back to strike out Judge after the infield hit by LeMahieu. And now with a runner at first and 2 men out, here is Aaron Hicks. A lot of Twitter activity on this series. There was last night, for sure. The thumbs are hot. The Twitter thumbs busy. It's been a very compelling series thus far.
Tom Kohler, a good pitcher for the Miami Marlins. New Rochelle native.
Take a look inside the numbers presented by DraftKings. So we're looking at curveballs going back to 2015 when they started tracking these. So we're looking at horizontal movement. And you think about a curveball as a pitch that has great vertical movement, but in Charlie Morton's case, you know, the way he sweeps it across.
That's right.
The horizontal movement. Only Rich Hill with more on average. That is a huge break. Hicks down the right field line. And on the run, can't run it down in right field. Meadows. LeMahieu is running on the crack of the bat. He'll come all the way around to score. And it's an RBI double for Aaron Hicks. Yankees get a 2-out run here. It's 5-2 Tampa.
Big 2-out hit by Hicks. Breaking ball that we were just talking about. This one though in the middle of the plate. Wondering if it was going to be fair or foul, and Meadows just couldn't get to it. We said that he hasn't had a lot of experience in right field this year. First start since September 1st. Lost the ball for a bit. That allowed LeMahieu to score.
And Hicks now in scoring position with 2 outs, and Luke Voit coming up. That has started the Tampa Bay bullpen now. Ryan Thompson, the sidewinder, starting to get loose. One of the best bullpens in the major leagues, the Tampa Bay Rays.
Been waiting for Voit to make a mark in this series, haven't you?
It's a beautiful thing about baseball. It is a game of redemption, and you do get your chances. Voit so frustrated, grounded out in the 3rd inning with the bases loaded. Well, he's got a chance here with a runner at 2nd and 2 outs. Morton deals at 0-1 in the air, left center, a mile high. Under it, Kiermaier, and that will retire the side. Voit just missed it on the bat. Charlie Morton gives up a run, but the Rays still lead the Yankees 5-2 in Game 3. (5-2) Rays. We head to the 6th. Kevin Kiermaier ready to lead off. Hit a big home run his last time up. Off Tanaka, 3-run blast in the 4th inning. Would have been out in every ballpark in the big leagues except for Fenway Park in Boston. And it certainly leaves the yard here at Petco Park. 373-foot home run. It's only 322 down in that corner. And Ron, that was his first home run since September 1st. He hit that one off Tanaka.
Oh, that's right.
63 at-bats between homers for Kiermaier. Picked the right time to elevate one. Yankees just score in the top of the 5th. Green back out there, and Kiermaier rips one down the right field line. That's going to bounce off the wall, and the speedy Kiermaier on his way to second base. A stand-up double to start the Rays inning here in the 6th.
Fastball down and in. Lefty's dream. Hits a bullet down that right field line. Karam's so quickly out, but Kiermaier's got great speed. Nice play by Judge on the carom. Can get kind of tricky in right field for right fielders.
A home run and a double down for Kiermaier. And now the Rays threaten once again. Green coming back out for his second inning of work. You saw Sessa getting loose last inning. Michael Perez at the plate, drove in the first run for the Rays.
Our first sign of some small ball.
It's news when you see a square around. There's Fairbanks getting loose.
Finished last night's game. Might pitch in the 6th here.
And shows bunt, but the inside move. Maybe tipped his hand a little bit. Perez, his first start of this postseason. Zunino has been the starter. Had some big home runs. You heard Kevin Cash talk about Perez and having some big hits this year. During the regular season, Perez had 14 hits for the year.
Yeah.
But he drove in 13 runs. So making those count. See if he's letting it rip here with 2 strikes. You see pitchers in the National League bunt with 2 strikes all the time. I'm not sure you ask a catcher to do that, a position player.
Not anymore.
Right, no more. DH only, both leagues. And he's swinging away, and he hammers one into left field, way back. Gardner is on the run. That ball's going to fly out of here. Michael Perez with a 2-run blast. Oh, the carry on that fly ball. On an 0-2 pitch, Perez launches one out of here. 3 runs batted in for the game for him. And it's 7-2 Tampa Bay. You talk about lightning strike twice for the Rays.
What were you saying? He drove in some important runs this year. Attempts to bunt the first pitch, not very good. Takes the second pitch right down the middle, trying to bunt, and then gets one more fastball and hits it over the left center field fence.
Wow.
And he knew it, or he felt like he got it as soon as it left the bat. Watch his reaction.
That is just his 3rd home run in the major leagues. Just over 200 career at-bats in the big leagues. He is a line drive hitter himself, but just like Kiermaier, they put some elevation on it and a couple of key home runs. Kiermaier's 3-run blast, 2-run homer from Perez is the end of the night for Chad Green. The Rays in the driver's seat. 2 runs in here in the 6th. Sessa on the mound for the Yankees. The Tampa Bay Rays going long ball against the Yankees here tonight. They lead it big in this 6th inning.
Is presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
Well, our menu for Thursday, Major League Baseball postseason continues. You got the Braves and the Marlins. Atlanta now leading that series 2-0. They're in a closeout opportunity set up for tomorrow. That'll be on FS1. A's winning today, beat the Astros. They extend their season, and they'll go for Game 4 tomorrow on TBS. We'll have a doubleheader here on TBS. Yankees Rays will follow that, and then Padres Dodgers. Long face of Chad Green. Tough outing here tonight, and Green will exit. Goes 1+. It'll be Luis Sessa now for the Yankees. So a 2-run homer by Perez. Sessa will take over with the bases empty, and the top of the Rays order coming up. Austin Meadows, first batter face for Sessa.
Remember, Sessa pitched in Game 1 when the Yankees added on those runs late, that 5-run inning. He pitched instead of Chapman.
Aaron Boone took a shot. You bring Green on, you're down in the game, but you bring on one of your better relievers. It was 5-1. and it did not work. Unable to maintain the deficit, and Tampa Bay stretching it into a bigger deficit.
Chad knows you can't make a mistake there. 0-2 on Perez. Happens.
It's incredible who shows up in the playoffs. I mean, you just never know. I mean, you can go back throughout the annals of baseball history, and you just never know who's going to deliver the big moments. And Michael Perez, with just his 3rd big league home run, hitting out of the 9 spot in the batting order, driving in 3 runs tonight. Perez, by the way, the Rays' number 9 hitter, which has been the catchers, Zunino and Perez, 3 homers, 7 RBIs in the postseason. Meadows hit his first career homer last night. 0 for 3 here in this one. Sessa deals, and a swing and a miss. Down he goes on strikes. First out of the inning. A strikeout for Sessa, his first batter faced. That brings up Brandon Lau now. 0 for 3 in this one. Been a struggle for him, but the Rays are scoring runs without their most productive hitter this year. Got 7 on the board once again tonight. Scored 7 last night in a 7-5 win. Let's check in with Lauren Shahadi. Got more on Brandon Lau. What do you have, Lauren?
Yeah, well, he's struggled lately, but maybe he's been productive this season because his wife Madison was a D1 softball player at Maryland, and during quarantine would pitch daily to him in their cage in the garage. She said, I was so grateful to be able to see live baseballs and keep my eyes in shape during that time. His wife said, I diced him with my cutter, obviously.
You know, Lauren was a next level softball player herself. She chose a different path, but major skills.
Listen, when I work with her at MLB Central, she tells me every day how good she was. No, she's very humble about it.
I know there's footage somewhere, Lauren.
Major pop. Just saying.
To second base.
Like Tower Power.
2-2 the count on Lau. Played his college ball at Maryland. Virginia native is Lau, and he takes a ball. 3-2 the count. That's been the man for the Rays, Randy Arozarena. Lau hits it sharply. Shift is on, though. LeMahieu makes the play. And that's the way it's going right now for Brandon Lau. 4-3 ground out for the second out of the inning. Sessa has come on to calm the waters a bit. And here comes Arozarena. 3 hits tonight. 2 singles, and then the home run to start the 5th with Chase Tanaka. Arozarena now homering in 3 consecutive games of this division series. Two and nothing the count. Yeah, there you go. 4 consecutive multi-hit games. First Rays player to do that. I mean, there's all kind of superlatives for him. Rewriting the postseason record books.
But this one, he joins Ichiro 2001 as the only rookie to ever have 3 hit games in the postseason.
And he takes ball 4. On base for the 4th time, Arozarena. 2-out walk issued by Sessa. This is one of those games for Aaron Boone. You're down 7-2. There's enough firepower in that lineup to score 6 runs, but can you keep them off the scoreboard, and how do you work your pitching knowing that tomorrow, if you don't come back to win this game, is an elimination game, and you're going to have to play at least 2 more games after tonight if you have a chance to advance. So that all goes into the mix. It's desperation time for the Yankees, but as we've seen before, things can turn on a dime, especially the way the ball is flying out of the ballparks this postseason.
Jordan Montgomery will get the ball for the Yankees tomorrow.
Garrett Cole looming potentially for a game 5. They get there. Started game 1. Got the win. This postseason scenario fits right into the depth strength of the Tampa Bay Rays with no days off. I mean, I think there are a lot of teams that saw how the playoffs were going to lay out with 5 straight days in the DS, a day off, 7 straight days in the championship series, and cringed at that. I think Kevin Cash said this is an opportunity for us. They're built for a run like this with all of their players that are all invested and involved. As Fairbanks continues to throw, we've seen Thompson loosen as well. Maybe past the Thompson part of the story, at least for now. Down the right field line, Choi's gonna hop one off the fence with 2 outs. Arozarena all the way around to score, and the Rays continue to add on. It's now 8-2 as Ji-Man Choi, looked like a tennis backhand, he just served one down the right field line. Second hit of the game for Choi.
Yeah, he got it a little off the end. Breaking ball from Sessa, middle of the plate. Out in front was Choi, but still strong enough to get that out into the outfield. And Arozarena was running on the pitch. He was trying to steal a bag, so he scored easily. The only issue is whether that ball was going to hop into the stands, be a ground rule double. That would have kept Arozarena at third base.
Well, the Rays have it rolling. They are all smiles. The team with the best record in the American League this year. And they've hung 8 on the board against the Yankees as we play in the 6th inning. Tsutsugo falls behind in the count. He's 0 for 3 tonight. I'm sure he's got some nerves competing in this postseason, his first start in this division series. He started as the designated hitter in the wild card series. Eight runs on 12 Rays hits thus far. One and two. Now going through game plan here. Charlie Morton, we saw him between innings shaking hands, obviously with the bullpen active as we've seen here. And the extra runs on the board. His night is over. Tsutsugo. Oh, it's caught. Is it caught? It is. Yep. On the fly. DJ LeMahieu makes a nice play to end the inning. Tsutsugo hit it hard, but LeMahieu there to snag it. 3 more on the board for the Tampa Bay Rays. They lead it 8-2 as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Head to the bottom of the 6th. It's 8-2 now. Rays tighten up their defense with Brett Phillips in right field. Meadows is out. And Ronnie, new pitcher on the mound, John Curtis. He was in a lonely spot in game 1. Back on the horse here in game 3. And first ball swinging. Stanton beats the shift. They had him into the pull side. Stanton just goes the other way. He's got a base hit on the first pitch he sees from Curtis.
Curtis threw 42 pitches in the 9th inning. in the first game of this series, as he was kind of left out there to dry. Pretty good that he could come back 2 days later after those 42 pitches and be ready to go.
Gio Urshela now with a runner at first. Rays just get 3 runs in the top of the 6th inning. 2-run homer from Perez, and then Choi with the RBI double with 2 outs. Some breathing room for Tampa Bay. Urshela's 0 for 2. Charlie Morton goes 5 innings. Nick Nelson, hard-throwing right-hander up in the Yankee pen. We saw him last night, blowing 100.
Yeah.
There's been a few triple-digit fastballs in this series. And Aaron Boone just hoping that side of his bullpen can keep the Rays at 8 and hope for a monster comeback. Yankees haven't had much trouble scoring runs this postseason. But to do it against this excellent Tampa Bay bullpen is another story. Ball and a strike to count on Urshela. Popped him up. Phillips ranging over, foul territory. He's got it. And out number 1 for John Curtis. Mindset of a pitcher, Ron, you have a game like that. He's been great for him, Curtis, and he was definitely a guy. Remember, he came into a 1-run game because Cash had a lot of confidence in him, still does.
Of course.
Chance to get it back on the mound today.
You've got to, if you're in the bullpen, you got to be able to flush away those moments. They happen, and you just got to remind yourself, like you said, he had such an amazing season. This pitching staff and what they've done, considering they lost Andrew Kittredge, Jalen Beeks, Yonny Chirinos, and Chaz Rowe, 4 guys to elbow issues who would have been big parts of this pitching staff, and still they've excelled.
They have been able to develop. They've been able to have some reclamation projects that have turned into outstanding relievers. Torres a wave and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes to count. I would imagine if Curtis has a successful inning here, the way this Rays team is built, the culture of their team, you're going to see a lot of ovation, a lot of high fives and elbow bumps. They'll be happy for him if he can get through a good inning here. They're going to need him. That's down the right field line, hit well, slicing foul. The Rays beat the Yankees 8 out of 10 times this year in the regular season. 5 of those 8 wins came at Yankee Stadium this year. And they rolled into this division series hot after sweeping Toronto in the wild card series. They had won 11 of 13 coming into this division series. Lost game 1, answered with a win last night. And now in command to go up 2-1 if they can get to the finish line.
Those good numbers you're talking about before game 1, he had been unscored upon in 12 of his last 13. So
Snell, the #1 starter. Saw Glasnow last night, was excellent. This Rays pitching staff put 18 strikeouts on the Yankees last night. Fly ball into center field. Second out of the inning. Torres flies out, 2 gone after the single by Stanton. Hey, a reminder, the MLB app is the one place to get everything for your favorite team's chase to the pennant, including video highlights, pitch tracking, and much more. You can download the MLB app today for the postseason in your pocket. 2 outs for Brett Gardner. As one of the 5 Yankee hits, had a single in the 3rd and scored a run. Played in a lot of playoff games. 65th playoff game as a Yankee. Brett Gardner. That ties him with Mickey Mantle for 8th on the Yankees all-time postseason games played list. His first start of this division series. There's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I don't think there's anyone that knows Brett Gardner and doesn't admire the way he's conducted himself and played during his career.
Two and 1 the count on Gardner. He's the heartbeat of the team, no question about that. Be a free agent at the end of the year. And let's see now. Curtis a little awkward off the mound. I don't know if Snyder saw something or not, but he was quick to pop out of that dugout. Maybe he saw something mechanically with Curtis.
He did, though. He came running out.
Looked for a moment that it was an injury situation, but I think maybe more mechanical or game plan related with a 6-run lead here.
I'm just thinking we used to always accuse our pitching coaches in the postseason going out there because they were trying to get on TV. But I know that was more than that for Mr. Snyder.
He's been out there plenty.
Yeah, he has.
Replaced Jim Hickey. Done an excellent job with his staff this year. Long time in the organization. We'll see if he gets Curtis back right. 2 balls and a strike, 2 outs in the 6th. And now Gardner steps out. Grinding always. Every at bat of his life. 2-2. Gardner had 3 hits in game 1 of the wild card series against Cleveland. Popped a big home run. Stays alive. Count remains at 2-2. Big John Curtis trying to post a 0 in the 6th inning, and a swing and a miss. He will post a 0 in the 6th. Yankees strand a runner. Curtis gets back on the horse and has a successful inning in this division series. We go to the 7th. You're watching the 2020 American League Division Series on TBS. It's presented by Utz Snacks. Wednesday night here in San Diego, game 3 of this best-of-5 American League Division Series. Division rivals, bitter division rivals in the AL East, traveling to paradise here in San Diego. 8-2 Rays. They've hit 3 home runs in this game. And the hard-throwing Nelson on the mound to face Joey Wendell to start this 7th inning. Well, John Curtis puts up a 0 after a disaster in game 1. Good for him to get through that. You know, the Rays are glad to get him back on track. Gave up a hit and then retired the next 3. And this is another guy that is factoring in some of the decisions for Aaron Boone with velocity like that. Nick Nelson.
Yeah, 100 miles an hour last night, a couple strikeouts and a perfect 8th inning.
Joey Wendell's been an incredibly tough out. He's had a great series, great postseason. Came into the postseason hot. 2 hits tonight, 2 out of 3. He scored twice. And he slaps one inside the bag and down into left field. His 3rd hit of the game. Joey Wendell with a leadoff single in the 7th. Well, the Rays are putting up some big numbers here, Ronnie. That's their 13th hit of the ball game.
$13 hits and 9 have come from the left-handed batters. Good hitting here. Kind of fought it off and finds a hole.
Adames now on the first pitch. He fouls it back. Tampa Bay continues to put their leadoff man on. 3 consecutive innings. Rosarena hit the home run, the knockout punch to Tanaka in the 5th inning. He led off the 5th with his 3rd hit. Kiermaier had the double to start the 6th inning, and now the single by Wendell. On the attack. Rays more known for their pitching, their deep starting rotation, their excellent bullpen. They were middle of the pack with their offense, but well, you wouldn't know it by the way this division series is going. They've swung the bats well the last 2 games, and they had the blowout win in the 2nd game, the clinching game against Toronto in the wild card series.
Well, there's always themes that begin in the postseason, and one that's very evident this year is the home run ball. Got to hit home runs if you're going to win games.
It's a foul ball. Ball and 2 strikes. Been a ton of runs scored in the American League Division Series, both sides, with the A's and the Astros, and of course here with the Yankees and the Rays. Rays are trying to push their way to double-digit run totals. Adames in the air to right. And Judge will ease in to make the play for the out. First out of the inning. Back to first goes Wendell. Google StatCast. We're looking at all the home runs the Rays have hit in this postseason run. It has been 12 of them, 3 of those tonight.
79% of the runs scored have come via the home run.
StatCast powered by Google.
Coming into today, teams that have out-homered their opponents are coming into today. We're 17-0.
Saw Chad Mottola there, the hitting coach of the Rays. That's the guy to go stand by when you're having this much success offensively. I mean, do hitting coaches have a tough job or what? You get no credit for the success and all the blame when it's not going well. That goes for all the coaches. That ball is hit hard. Kiermaier into left field, but Gardner is there, who was playing deep, runs it down, no problem. 2 outs now. And here comes one of the stars of the night, Michael Perez, who launched a 2-run home run in the 6th inning and an RBI single in the 2nd. 11 home runs from number 9 hitters this postseason, and 10 of those from the catchers.
That's right.
Hitting 9th. Beware of the number 9 hitter.
In the postseason, there's been more home runs hit from the 9th hitter than the cleanup hitters.
Is that right?
Yes.
Look at you coming up with the good numbers.
I don't know. Well,
that used to be the breather in the lineup, right?
That's right.
Hit 9th. You got a good combination here with these two. Zunino, who has been in that 9th spot, hit a couple of big home runs.
Yeah, Brian, there's no lineups that have a breather anymore. Literally every person in the lineup can go deep.
Yep. Take it back to the 6th. This was a big one.
After trying to bunt for 2 pitches, on the 0-2 count. Gets that fastball away from Chad Green.
Confident that he got it. Raised the hand.
That's right.
But it just cleared the wall. I mean, for a guy who had hit just 2 major league home runs up to that point and over 200 at bats, sometimes you just know. I guess.
Just know, right?
It's another one of those players, the Rays. I don't know if they're targeting players like that or not, but from other organizations that didn't profile with, the power, the high launch angle, more line drive hitters. He's really giving him a boost. Pops it up this time, and that will retire the side. 8-2 Rays. Beautiful Wednesday night in San Diego, looking across the Coronado Island. Game 3 of this American League Division Series. Yankees Rays. Brian Anderson, Ron Darling. And Ron, the offense has been impressive with 13 hits for the Tampa Bay Rays, 8 runs. But the tone setter was Charlie Morton, and the way he started this game.
He was outstanding. He's thrown lots of strikes, really being aggressive early. Ran into some trouble in the 3rd inning with the bases loaded, but only gave up 1 run in that inning. That really was the best thing that happened to Charlie in the game tonight.
Rays hit 4 home runs last night. They popped 3 tonight. Curtis back out there. 2nd inning of work. Worked a scoreless 6th inning. Higashioka leads off for the Yankees. The 4 outfielder set for Tampa Bay. We've seen this often in their season and in their postseason. Trying to protect from the extra base hit at this point.
It's not only the hitter that is factored into this, it's the pitcher also. 1st inning that Curtis worked tonight, 2 fly balls to the outfield. Right across the outfield, Rosarena in left, Kiermaier, Brandon Lau in right center, and then Brett Phillips, who came in a couple innings ago.
And Lau is the one who moves from second base out there. Higashioka 0 for 2. Reached on an error his first time up, then flew out to center. Let's check in with Lauren Shahadi.
You guys mentioned Higashioka gaining Boone's confidence earlier in the game. We know Cole always throws to Higgy, right? But in the case of Tanaka starting this game, we asked Boone about the decision, and he said Kyle's earned opportunities not just defensively, but at the plate as well. Said this has nothing to do with Tanaka starting this game. It's a Kyle thing.
It does make you wonder, and Gary Sanchez has had some electrifying moments, but he is the enigma for the New York Yankees behind the plate. So much talent, so much power. Very low batting average, a lot of swings and misses, and you wonder where they'll go from here.
He's had one of those forgettable seasons, Brian, that you get to this point and you play the hot hand, and Higashioka has been the hot hand.
Two and two the count. Curtis delivers in the air. 4th outfielder coming in, and a sliding play by Kiermaier. And that is why you have 4 outfielders.
I mean, that is a flat out hit with 3 outfielders.
Higashioka lines out. Excellent play by a 3-time Gold Glove Award winner.
I don't know if the lights came into play there. He went into the slide maybe to get underneath the lights, but nice play. Yeah. Curtis likes that.
You point to your outfielder, then you point to your analytics department, right? Good job.
Sometimes some pitchers don't even know there's 4 outfielders.
He's thinking he's giving up a hit for sure. This organization right now is one that's just hitting on all cylinders with trades in their scouting department, their player development. I think their culture with Kevin Cash, he brings a lot to the table. A little tapper. And LeMahieu is retired. 2 up, 2 down for Curtis here. He's retired 5 in a row. Making all the plays tonight. Driving in runs. And an excellent play pouncing on this one. Knew he had time with LeMahieu running. That brings up Aaron Judge. On the first pitch. Into center field, a base hit. Judge wasting no time. His first hit of the night. Had a sac fly in the third. He's been aggressive tonight, jumping on the first pitch often. 3 of his 4 plate appearances.
He's been aggressive the entire postseason. His first swing was on the first pitch from Shane Bieber that ended up with a 2-run home run in the wild card series.
And so that'll be the end of the line for John Curtis. Goes an inning and 2/3, gives up a couple of hits. And Kevin Cash back into his bullpen. Shane McClanahan made his major league debut in game 1. Back out there for game 2 in his big league life. We'll set him up after this. See, that sorts through our nation's most ridiculous cell phone videos, surveillance feeds, and doorbell cams to keep us safe. You can meet the interns who have to sort through it all. Top secret videos. A new series premiering October 29th on True TV. Shane McClanahan, been a starter in the Rays system, was with their alternate training site this year with no minor league system. Made his major league debut here on Monday, and now he's back out there for round 2.
He came to relieve Curtis in the 9th inning of game 1. 9-3 deficit. He gave up a single, walked LeMahieu, and then got a ground out to get out of the 9th.
Became the first pitcher in Major League Baseball history to make his major league debut in a postseason game. And then it happened again last night. Ryan Weathers, the son of former big leaguer David Weathers, the left-hander, made his debut for the San Diego Padres in their postseason game against LA. So here is McClanahan to face the switch hitter Aaron Hicks. Had a runner at first with 2 outs. Able to check his swing. Hicks has been on a lot in this series. 8 times in 12 plate appearances. He's been on twice tonight, a walk and a double. Drove in a run with that double in the 5th inning. 2 crooked numbers on the board for the Rays tonight. A 3-run 4th. Kiermaier hit a 3-run homer and a 3-run 6th inning. They lead at 8-2. 5 of the 6 games in this division series here and up the road in LA with the A's and the Astros, there have been a combined at least 10 runs combined in 5 of the 6. And 10 on the board tonight between these two. Hicks in the air to right, and a stay up there for Phillips, and that will retire the side. McClanahan gets the final out of the 7th inning. On our way to the 8th. Back to the bullpen go the Yankees. Yankees go back to their bullpen. Michael King will get this 8th inning for Aaron Boone. 8-2 Tampa Bay.
Michael King started 4 times this year for the Yankees, now pitching out of the bullpen.
Brett Phillips will lead off. Came in for defensive purposes for Austin Meadows, who got the start in right field tonight. Phillips just one official at bat. And bouncing around in his career a bit, from the Astros to the Brewers to the Royals, now to the Rays. He was one of the pieces in that Josh Hader deal that sent Hader from the Astros to the Milwaukee Brewers. He was one of the 4 that came to Milwaukee in that deal. Nicknamed Maverick. 2-2 the count on Phillips. At bats have been few and far between. Typically used as a defensive replacement. He's an excellent outfielder, center fielder by trade. Has one of the strongest arms you'll see, but he's down on strikes here. And King with a strikeout to start his night here in the 8th inning. On away, here is Brandon Lau. 0 for 4 tonight. Hit the ball sharply his last time up. They put the shift on always for Lau, and he ripped one right at LeMahieu, who's playing in the hole. While the Rays are flourishing just about everywhere else, Lau is in a struggle. And he rolls over that one. Race to the bag. King is there. 2 outs. Arozarena is coming up. His teammates have taken notice. How about Tyler Glasnow at the press conference the other day?
I mean, Arozarena has to be the best baseball player on earth right now. Like, just being able to sit back and watch him do what he does is phenomenal.
Couldn't agree more, and he's loving every bit of it. Glasnow, the starter yesterday. They win a lot of games when Glasnow is on the mound. He is their player rep as well, and he is all smiles recognizing the talents of Arozarena.
When a guy is that red hot, guys on the bench, I mean, you can't believe it sometimes.
It's a tremendous story. Defected from Cuba. He lost his father. His father passed away. Arozarena was a soccer player and then transferred to baseball, and once his dad passed early, and it was really hard on him, he made the commitment not only to be a baseball player, but wanted to play at a high level. Defected from Cuba, which is a very scary thing, very difficult decision to leave your family behind. Ended up playing in the Mexican League for a year, and then found his way to the Cardinals and now to the Rays. They finally get him out. On base 4 times tonight. First time they retire him. King a 1-2-3 inning. Bottom of the 8th coming up. Yankees at the plate. You're watching the 2020 American League Division Series. It's presented by Utz Snacks. Belmont Park, Mission Beach. Some of the great scenes here in San Diego. And we're glad to be here playing baseball. One of the 4 MLB bubbles. This will be the side of the ALCS as well. Tampa Bay leads at 8-2. Luke Voit leads off. McClanahan back on the mound. The big lefty free and easy, and he gets the swing from Voit. Got the final out of the 7th inning. Every pitch this guy throws in the big leagues here in this postseason matters. All the experience racking up, and the way they're using him also is interesting. How to bring a guy along in a playoff series. That's not easy to do.
Well, I mean, they're kind of treating him here with a big lead, and in game 1 they were losing by a lot, like with kid gloves, to see what he can bring. But he has looked excellent.
Shift was on. Adames backhands it, fires high, and throws it away. That'll be an error. That will be his 2nd error of the game. So Voit will reach on an E6. Adames normally sure-handed. He let that one sail. Had plenty of time here. Voigt's not running well. No chance.
Did everything right until took an extra step. Wanted to put a little extra on the ball. And the wild throw.
And it did clear that net over there. So Voit awarded second base. 2-base error for Adames.
Kevin Cash is talking to the home plate umpire now, Mark Carlson, to see did it hit the netting. He's thinking they only should have got a base, but now they checked it, and Cash confirms the call.
So Voit at second. Here is Giancarlo Stanton. First error on Adames was one of those that didn't look like an error. Maybe a tough play. That was Higashioka, but the E is still on the board. The Rays played the first 2 games without an error. Have 2 tonight, both from the shortstop. Take a look inside the numbers presented by DraftKings. Exit velocity tonight. Kiermaier with the double at 112.6. It's a fly ball into center field. Kiermaier at the wall, and he's done it again. Giancarlo Stanton, a 2-run home run. What an incredible run he is on right now. Giancarlo Stanton, a quick 2-spot for the Yankees, and it's 8-4 here in this 8th inning. 5 consecutive games to start this postseason with a home run. He's hit 6 homers in that span.
Fastball on the outer half, and Stanton just isn't missing any mistakes. Even good pitches, he's hitting out of the ballpark.
Boy, what an amazing ride it's been for Stanton. It's a big home run, gets him within 4.
Just majestic flight on this ball, just didn't come out of the air. But off the bat, Kiermaier thought he might have a chance. That was 20-30 feet, good enough for a homer.
6 home runs, 13 runs batted in the first 5 games of this 2020 postseason. Consecutive postseason games. He is now 1 away from the record holder. Daniel Murphy had that amazing run in 2015, homering in 6 straight games. The only one with more. On the ground to short. Adames gobbles that one up. Urshela retired. First out of the inning. Don't put the Yankees to bed just yet.
No, do not.
I mean, these leads are being given up quickly. And certainly Kevin Cash knows the setting. He's got Castillo starting to loosen in their bullpen. We saw him last night. 1 electric inning and then couldn't get it out in a 2nd inning. .98-mile-an-hour fastball, a strike to Torres. Stanton has now tied a Yankee home run record in a single postseason. Could have a lot more to go. With his 6th home run, he ties Alex Rodriguez, who hit 6 in the World Series run in '09. Bernie Williams in '96 had 6 home runs in a single postseason, and now Stanton, with his 6th home run in this postseason, is on that board. You're wondering about Reggie Jackson, 77. He had 5 that year.
3 memorable ones, all on one night.
Against the Dodgers. Two-two count on Gleyber Torres. McClanahan deals. Count will stay at 2-2. 99 with that fastball. The velocity every night just jumps off the page at you. Guys throwing in the upper 90s and triple digits. Rays are very high on this kid, Shane McClanahan. There's a swing and a miss. Wiped him out. Wow. Coming off 99, he drops that 86-mile-an-hour slider in there, and it's a strikeout for out number 2 for McClanahan. His first K.
Well, we've seen some good breaking balls from McClanahan. Big breaking ball, more like a curveball, hammer. It's on both sides, right, Brian? It's velocity, exit velocity off the bat, and velocity out of the arm.
Power. Yep. Max effort, both sides. Rewriting the record books, strikeouts and home runs. Gardner, fastball, strike right on the outside corner. Getting started with an error. 2-run homer by Stanton. 8-4 Rays. If you're the Yankees right now, you're just trying to do all you can to extend this inning and make Cash go to the bullpen right now. Start to get into the bullpen. I'm sure he would with one more base runner. 1 ball, 1 strike. That one's in there. 1-2 now.
Kid showing a lot of poise, isn't he? For making his debut 2 days ago.
The wily old veteran now. He's got all that experience.
Right.
What's a regular season game going to feel like for him next year? 1-2 pitch. Gardner hanging in there. Was late. Just fights it off. That guy is having an historic run for the Yankees right now. First player ever to homer in his first 5 games of a postseason in baseball playoff history.
Can't really enjoy it tonight because of the deficit.
1-2 the count. Didn't miss by much. Might have got away with one. Gardner at the top of the zone with that slider. Used to be, you see sliders like that, you say, well, that's a hanging slider. But the way pitchers pitch up in the zone with a fastball, that's by design. Two on the way. At 101, he missed with it. Now it's 3-2. Higashioka due next.
This is not the last time we're going to see Mr. McClanahan. Whoa, what an arm.
Electric stuff. He may be churning inside, but he's got a poised look about him. Payoff pitch and a swing and a miss. Went with a slider. 3-2 and gets the strikeout to end the inning. Back-to-back Ks for the rookie. But Giancarlo Stanton keeps the magic going in this postseason. His 6th home run in 5 games. It's a 2-run blast, and it's 8-4 now. Rays lead at 8-4. Giancarlo Stanton with a 2-run home run in the bottom of the 8th inning. And we go to the 9th. Game 3 of this best-of-5 series. Yankees won the opener. Rays bounced back last night with a 7-5 win. The winning team has hit 4 home runs in each of the victories. Yankees in game 1. Rays last night. And the Rays with 3 home runs here tonight. Big one by Kiermaier in the 4th. 3-run blast. Rosarena hit a solo shot in the 5th. And then Michael Perez, the catcher, with a 2-run shot in the 6th. Ji-Man Choi starts it. Tsutsugo is due next for the Rays, then Joey Wendell. King back out for his 2nd inning of work. Rays are 3 defensive outs from getting to within a single win to advance to the American League Championship Series. Big question right now for Tampa Bay is who's going to start tomorrow's game as Choi rolls over one. They do have some options. I mean, you could certainly discuss the option of an opener, but Ryan Yarbrough seems like the most likely candidate to start game 4, left-hander.
Yes, but if he doesn't start, because he's pitched a lot in his Tampa Bay career as the bulk innings pitcher after an opener. So you could have Pete Fairbanks open. You could have Ryan Thompson open with that sidearm sinker slider against all those right-handers at the top of the Yankee lineup.
Tsutsugo on the first pitch rolls out. 2 up, 2 down for King. I'm sure that will be announced as soon as this game ends. Kevin Cash wanting to make sure to see how this game went first before he committed to a starter. I say I'm sure. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, maybe not. You know,
we've been unsure a couple times so far this series. We do know, because Aaron Boone's announced that Jordan Montgomery will start for the Yankees tomorrow.
Well, that's a sizable start for him. Could be with the season on the line, barring a Yankee comeback. Masahiro Tanaka started tonight. Got off to a great start. Had a couple of strikeouts in the first inning. And then it was downhill from there. He went 4 innings, Tanaka. 8 hits, 5 runs, all earned. Had a walk and 4 strikeouts. Meanwhile, Charlie Morton, 5 terrific innings. 2 runs, 1 was earned. He struck out 6. 5 of those 6 Ks came on that big breaking ball. And Charlie Morton has a chance here to win his 5th consecutive game in postseason starts. It would be 3 in a row as a Ray. His Tampa Bay starts. He's gone 15 innings in the last 2 years and starts in the postseason and only allowed 2 earned runs. Why would you consider retiring, Charlie, with those numbers? And there is Yarbrough. Makes it fun. You get all the pitching probables. Sometimes you just don't know. Padres didn't announce their starter until today. I'm sure they know internally what the scenario will be. But last night, Aaron Boone went with the opener. We knew Davy Garcia was going to start, but what surprised all, including Kevin Cash, was the fact that they were going to go with the opener and go with Jay Happ, and that's going to be talked about for a long time if the Yankees don't come back in this game or in this series. Garrett Cole pitched game 1. He'd be ready for game 5, you would think.
They got arrested Chapman, who has not pitched in the series yet, and get themselves a lead tomorrow.
On the ground, Torres makes the play. Wendell is retired. All right, stage is set. Yankees down to their last at bat. They're down 4. We go to the bottom of the 9th in game 3. See contestants win a fortune by ranking other people's misfortune. The hit series The Misery Index is back, hosted by the stars of Impractical Jokers and Jamila Jamil. All new episodes of The Misery Index kick off Tuesday, October 20th on TBS. So Kevin Cash sent his left-hander out to the mound. He did his full warm-ups. The Yankees bring on a pinch hitter, and once that was established, Clint Frazier in the game. Cash is going to make the change here. BYOR, bring your own rosin. So the decoy to start the inning, and now the matchup favors Kevin Cash and the Rays. Here comes Castillo. Ronnie, talk us through the start tonight of Charlie Morton, 5 strong.
Considering he hadn't pitched at September 25th, 10 days ago, awful sharp to start the game. Retired the first 7 hitters, ran into some trouble in the 3rd inning when he loaded the bases twice, but got a sacrifice fly from Judd. Judge and then Luke Voigt with the ground ball got him through that inning. Only gave up one. That was the key for his start tonight, but awfully sharp.
Got a chance to win his 5th consecutive game in the postseason. His strikeouts resulting in these pitches, had 6 strikeouts, and you see the curveball and the cutter. 5 of those 6 strikeouts. His breaking stuff was excellent, and Charlie Morton in line for the win. Now it's going to be Diego Castillo. Aaron Boone has countered, so he burns Frazier. He's going to go with Mike Ford. So when it's all settled, it's Castillo against Ford to start this 9th inning for the Yankees, down 4.
Castillo's last 8 appearances, no runs, covered 8 2/3 innings, only allowed 6 hits. He can throw 97, 98 with lots of movement, but it is his slider that gives hitters fits.
I always think about the opportunity to, you're looking for ways to quicken the game at certain areas. This would be one of them. You know, because each team has to declare. So, it started McClanahan against Higashioka, then it was McClanahan against Frazier. That resulted in a pitching change to bring on Castillo, and then the Yankees counter. It's like, you go through this whole exercise. If you just kind of walk through the declarations, you could get to Castillo against Ford and not have to go through all the wooden duck warm-ups as the decoy. You know what I mean?
Dugout text they could use, maybe.
Just lean over. Who do you want to pitch? All right, he's going to pitch him. Who would you like to hit? Frazier is burned. If this does end up in extra innings, he's out. And Ford pops it up a mile high behind the plate, coming straight down the pipe. Playable. Perez has got it. Stayed with it all the way, and there is out number 1 of this 9th inning. The Rays are 2 outs away from a 2-1 series advantage.
No, but for the way the Cash did it, it allowed him to burn Frazier, which is a big bat considering, I don't know, 4 runs doesn't seem like a huge lead to me.
No, it's a good point. I mean, I don't think these managers feel that way. They said as much in our meetings before the games about, what's the lead you feel comfortable with a certain pitcher, and that does not exist right now. Stan's 2-run homer in the 8th makes it a 4-run game. Rays have not scored since they put 3 on the board in the 6th as LeMahieu takes a ball.
LeMahieu, with that swinging bunt hit he had in the 5th, now is hitting 23 straight games versus Tampa Bay.
And 11 in a row in the postseason for one of the best hitters in the game. Twice a batting champion, once in the NL with the Rockies, and this year with the Yankees in the American League. And it was a runaway batting title as well.
Well, he and Tim Anderson were close, but Tim Anderson got cold down the stretch, so they switched places. Anderson number 1 last year, and LeMahieu was number 2.
Don't tell LeMahieu they don't look at batting average anymore. Most teams don't. But he does damage as well. It's not just about hitting for a high average. There's a fastball on the edge, 97 miles an hour. It's 1-2.
It's not a team in baseball that would not want DJ LeMahieu on their team. Not one.
Had the highest hard hit percentage in baseball this year. He strikes it well in any count. Castillo's got him down. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He deals it and it misses. It's 2-2. Aaron Judge due next. Yankees need base runners. Two. Chopper over the mound. Tough play. Adames gloves it. Fires it in time. Willy Adames makes a nice play for out number 2. Yankees down to their last out here in the 9th inning.
Nice play by Adames with the scoop, and on the run fires a BB at Choi. You can see Choi got almost in the catcher's position to make sure he caught that hard throw from Adames.
He's had a couple of errors tonight. Adames fires a bullet over to first. Castillo 1 out away. Rays turning the tides in this series after the Yankees roughed them up in game 1, 9-3. Looking for back-to-back victories and a 2-1 series lead as Judge standing in the way with 2 gone. With 1 more out, the Rays will have won 10 of 13 against the Yankees this season. Only the Dodgers had a better record in baseball this year in the 60-game truncated schedule. Rays were 40-20. Their first AL East title since 2010. And their 3rd overall. One ball, 1 strike. Castillo delivers low. 2-1. Because the Rays stretched out this lead, I mean, they are well positioned in their bullpen if they can finish this off without having to go back in there. Castillo pitching in back-to-back games. But the others are fresh and ready for tomorrow. There's a bouncer. Wendell gloves it, throws it, and that's the ball game. The Tampa Bay Rays now lead 2-1 in this best-of-5 series. An 8-4 final score tonight. Tampa Bay with 3 home runs in the game. They've hit 7 in the last 2 games in their victories. And an 8-4 final score sets them up a win away from advancing to the ALCS. Charlie Morton picks up the win. He beats Tanaka in this one tonight. And they're shaking hands once again. The team with the most wins in the American League. They've got 2 of them here in the division series.
Yeah, 5 straight postseason wins now for Charlie Morton, and 3 home runs, like you said, Brian. But the biggest one was Kevin Kiermaier's in the 4th.
Tipped the scales in the 4th inning. There was a key moment in that 4th inning as well with Wendell aboard. He was on the move, Ron. Could have been a strike him out, throw him out scenario. Instead, ball 4, 2 on, set the stage for Kiermaier.
Well, Tanaka thought it was a strike, a slider on the 3-2 count. Adames wasn't sure if it was a strike. He walked on the first pitch, a hanging slider from Tanaka, and he never could recover from there.
Kiermaier's first home run since September 1st. Hit that one off Tanaka back in September. And a monster 3-run blast off Tanaka in game 3 of this division series. The Rays just kept adding on as well, and they win this one 8-4 tonight. There's Kevin Kiermaier standing by with Lauren Shahadi.
Kevin Kiermaier, very first pitch in the 4th for a home run. Were you hunting breaking ball on that?
Yeah, I was. That's all they throw to me. You have a plan. Faced Tanaka many times over my career, and you know, they love starting me out with that first pitch, get me over a curveball, and I took one my first at bat. I was very mad at myself, but sometimes you want to see pitches, and I couldn't wait to hit my next time up. And Joey Wendell had a great at bat. Willie drew a walk, and I knew what I was trying to do first pitch and was able to execute it.
So home runs from the 8th and the 9th spot, not the first time this series. What can you say about the depth?
We got guys who can play 1 through 9. We got guys who do it. When our names are called upon, we respond, and we did that tonight, and you know, this is a fun game to be a part of.
I know you, Kevin. You give a speech or a chant. Every time you win, you're laughing. You know it's true. Who are you going to single out tonight in the clubhouse?
Oh,
putting you on the spot.
I want to give Michael Perez some love. I want to give Randy Arozarena some love, but I might have to, you know, give myself a shout out. We try to think about the game-changing play throughout the game, and you know, to be quite honest, I think my homer was, you know, really got us going, and then it was snowball effect after that. We'll see, though. I don't really like doing that,
Okay.
but at times, though, my teammates laugh at it, so we'll see.
Spur of the moment, the
Yes.
outlaw, Kevin Kiermaier. Thanks so much,
Thank you.
Brian.
I love that. Sometimes you just got to be objective and honest. And his moment was the game changer.
I'm sorry, but it was me.
You called it. The longest tenured Ray, Kevin Kiermaier, with a mammoth home run in the third inning, sets up the Rays well early, and then they closed it out. And they win tonight 8-4. They will be happy tonight in that Rays clubhouse. Stanton stays hot, but the Yankees are now a loss away from being eliminated from this postseason. We'll rack it up, do it again tomorrow for Game 4. 8-4 Rays win it, 2-1 series advantage. The postseason show presented by the all-new Hyundai Elantra is coming up next. For Ron and Lauren, this is Brian Anderson saying so long from San Diego. You've been watching the 2020 ALDS presented by UTS. TBS, your home for the 2020 AL Pennant.